Tonight we got Dave Thomas from bowhunterplanet.com here in the studio. Pretty excited about that. We're going to discuss every NFL game in as close to 30 minutes as we possibly can. We're going to shoot you guys an update on the Silk Challenge, also known as the Chi-Chi's Cup. We got top picks. We got beer. Excuse us if we get a little excited tonight because we are watching the Tigers as well. All this and more. I'm JT. We are the 50,000 watt voice of the numbers, guys. This show is BS. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ready, dope.
All right, let's do it.
This is the 50,000 watt voice of the numbers guys in
the Motor City.
And now, live from Studio 8B, it's time to BS with the guys.
Well, what is going on, Numbers Nation? Hey, if you're seeing us on YouTube, man, is it great to be with you. And if you're catching us live on YouTube, please feel free to chime in the chat and say hello. We'd love to hear from you. It's going to be really cool hanging out with you guys while the Tigers are trying to make their way to the American League Championship Series.
That's right.
Yeah. And if you'd rather, if it's easier for you to text, please feel free to text us. That number, TNG Live 007. And if you're not good with letters, it's going to be 864-548-3007. One last thing. If we provide you guys at home any sort of value tonight, maybe it's a hot betting tip. Maybe it's some bow hunting stuff. There's Tones is already getting excited.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So stressful.
Do me a favor. Do us all a favor. Give us a like. That's a thumbs up. Looks like that. And or your subscription would be big league appreciated. And now, with me for the entire hour tonight, to my right, your left, I got my boy D-Dub.
Hey.
How are you, pal?
I'm playing injured today.
Why is that?
I got a canker sore. I got
A hammy?
That makes it hard to talk.
Your mom brought those wings
Wow,
in.
what are you talking about his mouth about?
Your mom brought in those.
Okay. Good stuff, then.
Your mom brought in those wings.
Yeah.
I still got some of them in my teeth.
Okay.
It's gonna be
a rough show. Hard time
be a
talking
rough
tonight.
show.
I started off that way, too. I'm having a hard time
How are you going to put your bets in and talk about NFL 30?
I don't know.
That's
I'm just gonna do the best I can. Somebody
like-
told me that once. Just do the best
Do
you
the
can.
best you can. I like that shirt, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. It's from the fine folks at North Face.
Yeah.
As long as they keep sending me free stuff, I'll keep wearing it. So
Okay. All right, man.
that's all.
Hey, next to you, as always, in the Red Wings tonight, celebrating the Wings' first game. I think it is
a lot
tonight.
of
Tones?
good stuff in D-Town tonight happening night.
Maybe Rich will do a postulation about it next week.
If I were Rich, I would just walk right over to LCA after and catch the Wings game. So
Yeah, I didn't mention that.
double
but
header.
Richie at the last minute bowed out of the show tonight.
It's
Let me guess.
It's a big game.
He's got
It's a big
kids are sick.
No.
He's got to take his kids somewhere.
Nope.
Got a work thing.
Nope. Guess again, he's at the Tigers game.
Oh.
Of course. So, where Rich would usually sit, there's nobody. But even more
I'll allow
importantly, next to where Rich would typically sit, we are honored. We're really excited. We got from bowhunterplanet.com. Also,
Ted
YouTube
Nugent.
sensation. We got Dave Thomas. What's going on, Dave?
How you doing, guys?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I have to admit, this is a really cool set, like I was saying earlier, but also it's very intense, like doing this and watching the Tigers at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like nervous, like, and I'm not nervous for the show. I'm nervous. I'm like watching
Well,
these guys go.
But
like
most
that.
weeks, there's not a game that we have a vested interest going on. We're just watching an NFL game or something else. But this is serious stuff.
I know that lineup right there, man. He was like full count. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. It's going to be a challenging show tonight, I have a feeling.
It will be a little stressful.
Yeah.
But as I foretold last show, I said the Tigers would be wrapping it up tonight, and I'm going to stick to that.
You're going to
Stick to my guns.
Fortune teller.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, again, thank you for being here, Dave. Excited. We have some hunting related questions that we have prepared. And we're gonna ask you while we're enjoying some beer in our first segment of the show. You know what that's called?
Trivia.
No,
Thank
it's
you.
libation.
Tasty beers or fine bourbons for our face holes to try. It's libation exploration with the numbers guys.
And we are back in Studio 8B. Tonight's libation, courtesy of D-Dub. You lost trivia last week, eh?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I couldn't remember the 1997 running back drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And this is actually not on their website. It's from Dark Horse Brewing in Marshall, Michigan. It's called Crooked Tree, but not the regular Crooked Tree IPA. This is their hazy IPA, 7% ABV. Don't have an IBU. I don't know if it says it on the can. You guys see that?
7%, I believe it was. Let me see. Right in the big numbers.
Yeah, I see a big 7
7%
and a 25
alcohol by volume.
Okay. All right. Now,
Also, there's 25 IBUs. If
20,
you know what
that's
that
what I
stands
wanted to
for.
know. Yeah, sure.
It says unfiltered and unpasteurized. Does that means there's like E. coli in there or something?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Okay.
That's
Dave, do you like IPAs, Dave?
No.
No.
I'm
Perfect.
See, I
perfect
started off
kinda
the
guy.
show like a year and a half ago. I'm not a fan of IPAs, but they're starting to grow on me after I
Yeah.
came across a few I like. So
I think Hunt Camps will ruin me from IPAs because we used to always get IPAs, but then after a while, like drink them so much, it just didn't work anymore.
Yeah.
We're like it's just
I get
too
it.
strong.
Yeah.
oh,
That is usually the problem. The ABV on these are usually a little towards the top end.
not good for your
the
gut
spectrum.
either, I don't think.
Is that not good for your gut health?
Yes.
Gut check.
their microbiome.
All right, let's take a look and see what this looks like here. Typical sort of. It's not really that hazy, is it?
I like the aroma off the bat.
You got
you
grapefruit note on it?
Yeah.
Jones?
Yeah.
All right.
Smells like an IPA.
That's not any surprises. I hear you. And I'll put the rating scale for the numbers guys
Ooh.
here up on the screen. This is for beer or other booze. This is the scale. 5, you're driving across town for this shit. 4, you're going to buy it with no hesitation. 3, you're not going to kick it out of bed. 2, you're going to choke it down for the show so you don't look like a biatch.
Yep.
And 1, hard pass. Nastier than Flint's water. D-Dub, we lead with you every week.
It's a 3.2. I'm trying to keep track in my head what scores I've given before. Mm-hmm. Not working out so good.
Okay.
Short-term memory. Is that short-term or
Could be from all
long-term?
the IPAs you've been drinking. Might have something to
Probably
do with
it. I got an excess of hops building up in there.
That's could be a
So,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm going to say a 3.2.
3.2. Mm-hmm. All right, Tones. What do you got, Tones?
This is a doable one for me in the IPA space. Yeah, I think this is top 25% of the IPAs I've tried on the show. So I'm going to go.
Wait, don't say it yet. Can I guess it?
Okay.
4.1.
I was going to go 3.9. You were close.
Damn it, I was close.
Plus, Your plus or minus 0.2.
I was close. Okay.
That's good.
All right, Dave. What do you think?
I'm gonna go. So here's how I decided to do this because you guys were doing all these numbers, but the problem is there's to me there's more categories in this because there's IPAs like its own category.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing IPAs, I'm giving it like a 4.41. It's
Okay.
very good because there's no aftertaste. So it tastes to me like an IPA always has that bitter taste at the end.
Right.
And I feel like this doesn't have that. So I would give it a very high number. But again, in IPA section.
Gotcha.
So because if you get into you and I at the camping, we did the Sheboygan Brewery. We did the
Yeah.
blackberry beers. Remember that? And
Yep.
oh
The
man,
blood orange.
so good. But that's not an
sounds
IPA. So
Yeah, did you ever have the blueberry one from Sheboygan? That one is something else, man.
I could do them all.
Remember that
we
one?
had that on the show a
Very
while back now.
first episode, I
The blood
believe.
orange?
Yeah.
Well, the blueberry one.
The blueberry.
Blueberry is like you can taste it like a blueberry, like a Jiffy blueberry muffin,
Yeah,
and
something like that.
It's blueberry cream actually.
blueberry
so it's,
cream ale.
Yeah, it's very good.
I do remember that. Yeah, I
But
think
maybe
I did
that's
it.
because that's like the ale. I guess that's an ale category then,
Right.
or fruit. I don't know which one they would.
We got to figure it out so that because they keep sending us all this beer in the mail, all this free beer. We got to figure out how
It's
we're
never
gonna.
once happened. This might be the most expensive thing I do in my entire life is this show. When I think about it, between beer and whatnot.
Well, I will say this: in the hunting industry, we did have a company. It wasn't beer, but although we should get Busch Light because they're a pretty big beer support for hunters. But
For sure.
we did get a whiskey in, and that was pretty cool. A couple bottles of whiskey, and they
Yeah.
look very fancy. And I don't know anything about whiskey, so for me, I gave one to Jamie. I was like, "Here, man, you take this. You appreciate this. I don't know, but it's got the sweetest cork." and like top on it. It's got a big buck on it. It's so cool. I think it's like called Antler, or I don't remember the name, but it's so cool.
What's the one with the horse on it that we were?
Blanton's?
Yes,
Yes.
Blanton's.
I shouldn't know that, but I
That's
know.
good.
Yeah.
I know that one.
I enjoyed the Blanton's.
Yeah,
That
was
is a
that was
cool
good
tapper.
stuff. That is
People
a-
collect the top. They collect that.
yes.
So they're different. Well, they're all different apparently to people that I know that collect them.
Yeah, we had two at the same time that had toppers like that. Not that one was a horse and one was something else, right?
yeah.
Please tell me you
back
didn't throw them away.
I think Rich brought.
No,
them,
I don't.
I think Rich
we
brought
did.
them home.
You think? Yeah, they were. Well,
Pretty
they were
sure.
probably his, so that makes sense. Would make a lot of sense. On this one, and you got the right idea, Dave. I think we probably should silo these by style because
I think it makes the most sense.
it definitely makes the most sense because you can't compare the blueberry cream ale with this, right? Two different things.
I do think this is pretty good for an IPA, honestly.
This is one I don't mind. Yeah,
It's not bad.
I would have a couple. Two
Where are
trees.
these guys out of?
Marshall, Michigan.
Marshall.
Why do I know this?
You ever
I
do
feel
any
like
hunting down there?
No, but I feel like I've come across this company in person, but
Wasn't the
It's-
what's that? A big outdoor store. I'm trying. I can't think of it.
there's a
Cabela?
couple of them.
Not
there's
that one.
Bass Pro, J Sporting Goods.
Bass Pro. There was a Bass Pro in Marshall, I think, wasn't there? Right by there.
Where's Dundee
Well,
at?
Dundee's
Dundee.
Cabela's. It was Cabela's.
Okay, it was
Now
Cabela's.
It's owned
Gotcha.
by Bass Pro since they kind of cornered the market and bought up. Cabela's their biggest competitor. So
So are they switching the names on all those?
yeah,
or-
they just actually the one here locally,
Yeah.
the 23, that they switched that to Bass Pro from Cabela's.
okay.
Yep.
So it is what it is. I don't know
So
what
how
to
how do you feel about that?
we're not really big box people.
Okay.
Like our group, our people who follow us. Most people go to pro shops, like archery pro shops, to buy their gear, and big box stores they rely on for things like ground blinds and maybe tree stands. And a lot nowadays things have changed a lot too, where people are buying their gear direct from companies online.
Okay.
So it's changed. It's a lot of change.
Yeah. Which I guess kind of leads me into, I want to talk a little bit about what you got going on, which I think is pretty cool. And I'm an avid indoorsman, believe it or not, not a big hunter.
Sports watcher, inside recliner.
Yeah, I like sporting that kind of sporting. Although I do support the National Rifle Association, so I think this is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and put this up here. This is the website, bowhunterplanet.com. Tell me about how you got started with this.
Yeah, it's actually a shitty business the way it started. So basically a long time ago, 2007,
Okay.
I had before I do that, I brought you guys some gifts. I wanted to real quick.
Oh, yeah, heck
So
yeah,
I got
man.
you an AccuBow because I didn't know how safe you guys wanted to be. So this is like not a real bow, but it looks like a real bow. But you can work out with it, and I figure for sports, you can
Oh,
work
that
out
is
your
cool,
arm.
man.
In case you guys want to learn archery, you'll still need to learn to get your arm going. So there you go. There's
Well, thank you.
That's cool.
you could just hang it somewhere. It might look cool.
There you
I
go.
also got you guys some dude wipes. They're called Woodsman wipes for wiping your butt. These come in handy.
My cousin likes it because he
Yeah.
has bowel issues.
And all hunters don't go without having some predator mist, some rabbit urine, in case you need to get someone out of your blind or out of the way. So
What
I
about
figured I
trying to
Rabbit
get
urine?
throw that there
Well,
for you.
thank you.
what about trying to get somebody out of your conference room?
That too.
Does that
Spray a
work?
little of that.
Yeah, we could try that.
There's people in my office that I want them to leave. I do this.
Hopefully they're not watching right now, Tones. Which one are you talking about?
I don't know.
Okay. That is cool. Thanks, Dave.
I
Appreciate
figured those
that.
would be some funny things to bring.
Oh, yeah. And,
There's a rabbit urine? Yeah.
Anthony, now you are a hunter.
Yeah.
You hunt bow, or do you?
Unfortunately, I haven't gotten the bow yet. I would like to.
Usually crossbow's the first move over.
I would
People do.
love to do crossbow.
That's
yes.
the middle segment.
Okay.
That is cool.
What's a good crossbow run? Like if I'm
I would suggest
Not an
if I
expert,
was
but-
personally buying a crossbow today, I would buy the 10-point Venom for $1,000.
That's you.
point.
I personally would buy that
you,
bow in a
for
heartbeat.
you or for a beginner.
For anybody, I would buy
Okay.
that bow.
That's a
It's just all around perfect bow. We actually have a couple in the field right now. Kevin just got a deer with one the other day, and Tim just went out with his. He's going out tonight, I think, or tomorrow. But yeah, it's the perfect bow. And the reason is that there's technologies on the bow that make it easier to cock it, decock it. It's safe. It's 10-point warranty out of Ohio. Those guys are amazing. So like you can't really go wrong.
what's a good distance with the crossbow? What's the range?
Yeah,
on that
crossbows
bow?
can go anywhere from obviously 5 yards to upwards of the faster, more powerful crossbows could probably do 100. You know,
Okay.
but
Wow.
don't recommend it. I probably recommend 60 max.
60 max out. Yep. Okay.
I probably would. And then I say 100. You got to be a dead steady shooter at 100 yards, and you have to have the right broadheads. I mean, it's got to be tuned
You gotta have
perfectly,
everything
so
perfect.
everything flies the same. You know, it's. Listen, guys, archery's medieval, right? This stuff goes back so far;
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy. But even then, they would just fling arrows in the air in their wars. You know,
Yeah, just
nowadays
fire them up in the sky.
you got to be so accurate, and it's totally different. And so I feel like crossbows are definitely. Most people would say a crossbow's easier
Yeah.
than a compound. I would agree, but you can miss just as easy. So like because it's like a gun, you know, if you tweak a gun left or right quickly on your shot, if you get nervous and squeeze and pull, you can miss pretty easily. It's not as simple.
So it's a quicker reload time if you're out there and you want to get that second shot off.
Yeah, it's hard to do with a crossbow.
Even so, a regular bow you could get it
You
quicker.
go pretty fast.
Quicker,
Yeah,
okay.
compound or crossbows, you still have to recock it from the beginning, so it's not quick.
So you better hit that first shot.
Yeah, but it's actually funny you brought that up because a company 2 years ago launched a bow called the Twin Strike, which actually has 2 arrows pre.
Oh, really?
It got
I don't think I've seen.
It
anything
took
like that.
so much shit online, like crazy. The hunters were all they like rallied against it. I'm like, why are you rallying against this? This is like the smartest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's wild.
It's literally 2 levels of a crossbow, basically
okay.
2. And so in of course, you know, one state banned it. Like, you know, I'm like, why? Like,
So it was
who
banned?
cares?
Okay.
It's not like, okay, when you pull a trigger, you release an arrow off a string. When you pull the second trigger, like a double barrel, you release the second string. They're, for some reason, think when you push one, they both go. No. So I get that. I get that being
Right,
a
that
problem.
would be a problem.
But you can't. It's impossible to get them to fire at the same
It's
time.
like a semi-automatic.
They're set back so far, it would be literally impossible. The triggers to. They did that on purpose because they didn't want people to do that. Of
course.
So anyway, it was a genius move, and they don't probably sell a ton of them, but they still sell them. You could get one today, and they're legal in Michigan, just not in certain states.
So
New Jersey,
you could hunt
specifically.
with them. Or
Yeah, you can hunt
it's
with it
allowed in Michigan to hunt with them.
Just
Okay.
depends on the state, but most states have it legal. It's just New Jersey for some reason instantly banned it. And I'm like, you guys, just relax, right? Like, just relax. Like, we don't need to be banning stuff instantly. Just give it a year, give it 2 years, see what happens. Is it even a problem? Is it even a problem?
Right.
Are people even going to buy them? You know, and that's where it gets a little.
Yeah, how
frustrating.
many are out there hunting
Oh, I
with them?
doubt
That's the
very
thing.
many.
So,
You know, just diehards of that brand, Excalibur. It's the brand. It's a Canadian brand. But anyway,
there you go.
Well,
Canadian friends.
regarding you're saying if you were top notch, you could go 100 yards. A standard compound bow, in my head, and I've never hunted a day in my life, but I have watched a lot of hunting shows on
Yeah,
TV.
Michigan Outdoors, I think.
Yes.
You like that.
So, in my head, you could only go about 40 yards or so with a compound bow.
no.
Is that the old days, or is that in the old days?
First off, the longest bow shot on a deer with a compound I'm aware of is 140 yards with a kill
Oh.
shot. And that was done by a target archer who I know in the industry who is, the guy's unbelievable shot. So that's like an 80-pound bow. I mean, you can tweak a bow that's about 90 pounds, even 100-pound limbs at some point. And that you got to be a beast to do it, you know, but it can be done. And because you got to remember, so just imagine, like, so a couple years ago, a lot of the stuff we do, and I'll get to kind of what we do in a second, but like, we do testing. Like, we do a lot of testing in the hunting industry, in the archery industry specifically. And one of the things we wanted to test a couple years ago is how far will a compound bow shoot? Like, how far will it actually shoot? And same with the crossbow. How far? So the same day, we actually got like a angle degree, and we could actually test the degrees on letting it fly on an airport. So we had plenty of room. So basically, we let it fly, and it was something like 615 yards or something. I mean, it was that far away.
Wow.
So, and just imagine, like, it's firing through the sky and it's going to come down. But I'm not talking shooting straight up because it wouldn't go far. It would just come back down like 50, 100 yards out.
Sure.
You have to find the right angle. So I think we ended up being like 48 degrees or something. It was a very specific angle. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we found the angle that got the most distance, and we found the arrow 600 yards away.
600.
Yeah, same with the crossbow. Still 600.
Wow, that's some
Crossbow's got a smaller bolt, where compared to an arrow, it's longer. So the longer arrow actually is more aerodynamic for distance compared to the shorter one, which dies quicker. That's the difference. That's why you would think or assume because a crossbow is more powerful, it would go further, but that's not really true because of aerodynamics.
Okay.
I'm not an aerodynamics guy, but
No, but
that's what we figured out.
You
by
majored
asking
in
the questions.
physics, right, T-Dub?
I think no, it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't. I think it was somebody else.
But so, what's the farthest you've shot with a?
46 yards. Average
Okay.
people like myself, I
Yeah.
would consider average. I would probably a little bit more than average in the hunting area, but 40. I wouldn't probably shoot ever past 60 yards with a
All
compound
right.
bow.
I thought I was knew what I was talking about. That's what I remember as a kid, like, because I thought, as a little kid, you're looking at the hunting season starts earlier for the bows, right? About a month or so
Yep,
earlier.
October 1st, yep.
And so I was kind of curious about what that was all about. But I guess it's just the sport. It's more of a sport for the bow because you have to be closer. You have to
Generally, yes, yeah. And most hunters in Michigan are 20-yard pop shots. We call them. It's 15 to 30 yards, and you gotta get closer to with the bow. Generally, I'm not saying you always do, but like it's easier to get closer. So that's what makes it appealing to people to go bow hunting compared to gun hunting. Is the gun hunting you can reach out 150 yards, not a big deal. Get on a bluff or a ridge or something, shooting downward, you can see everything. Whereas archery, you really got to be like, just last weekend we went out hunting and I was in a tree saddle, which is something don't usually do. I was trying it, and I went up by about 15 feet in the air in a tree stand in the saddle system. So you go up with sticks, you hook in with the saddle. It's like you're a mountaineer or something. I'm just hanging in this saddle. Like it's my whole. And it's kind of fun. And I was like, oh, this is neat. And I got my bow and I found I could shoot. I could probably have shot 40 yards in any direction, but that's it. There was no more. It wasn't going to happen with the tree thickness and it's dense. A lot of those woods.
Okay.
So for our folks out there, is bow and crossbow all together in the same season?
Right now in
fully
Michigan,
overlaps?
yes.
Oh,
Some
Michigan,
states
yes.
might be
Okay.
different. Yeah, crossbow and bow overlap. And unfortunately, it's a big controversy. Some people hate it. Some people like it. It's always been a hot topic. It's legal, so we try to tell people, look, it's over. The game's over. It's already intermixed. It's done. But people want to argue that a crossbow is not a bow. I mean, there's just a lot of that. It's really hard because we do both, so we cover both, and it's just frustrating to us sometimes because it's like I don't care what you use. You know what I mean? Like you want to go out and shoot a deer with a spear, I don't care what you do, as long as it's ethical and it works and you can do it. I don't care. A lot of people want to use the word. They use this all the time. It really, really bothers me. But they use the word able body. An able-bodied person shouldn't be using a crossbow during bow season. Able body. I'm like, listen, man, you don't know anything about me. My arm could just bother me. I could have arthritis. We can say able-bodied all we want. I could just be a weakling. I mean, look at me. I ain't got no muscles. I mean, am I not able-bodied?
Right.
Wasn't it before you had to be some kind of handicap to do a crossbow?
Correct. That's why they're trying to mix that back in.
Yeah,
But the thing is, it's already changed.
Yeah.
And money's been made. Don't forget that. Taxes have been taken. Archery crossbows and went through the roof in sales. All the gun hunters bought crossbows.
Yes.
I mean, it was a huge win for the industry. It was a huge win for states and taxes. I mean, it was a huge pile of money they got for that, So, unfortunately, I think there's just too much money to change it back now. You know what I mean? Like, too much has happened.
Helps fund the DNR, right? Which
Correct.
does a lot of good for natural, environment in our state.
I think when we were little, I don't think anybody could, even the handicapped.
No.
I think it wasn't a thing yet.
No.
And then maybe like early '90s, late '80s, they said for the
Sounds right, yeah.
handicapped.
Yep.
And ultimately, everything is decided by money, unfortunately. But I'm not saying that it's in this particular case that's wrong. It seems like that maybe actually.
I
ends
look
up
at
with
it
the-
very simple. To me, it's a simple prospect. If I have a chance to get future generations to go out and do archery, I don't care what they're doing as long as I can get them out there. So, like for instance, my son shot his first year at 7. I didn't get a deer till I was like 18.
With a bow.
With a crossbow, because
That's
he
nice.
could never have pulled the bow.
Right.
So if you could start generations early by getting them into crossbow hunting right off the bat, they're going to, so someday they're going to say, I want a better challenge. And they're going to take on a better challenge. You know what I'm saying? This is so hard to watch. This is
Yeah. It's
like,
difficult.
Stressing me
it's
out.
hard to
though.
answer the question when I see this happening in the backdrop.
Lose my train of
Dang,
thought.
double play, get out of here. Oh my God.
I want to show everybody your YouTube channel too, because this is pretty awesome. You got almost 60,000 subs on this, and a ton of gear reviews. So if you're into archery at all, and plus you do the podcast as well, which is also you put on the YouTube channel as well. That's the outdoor podcast,
Yep.
and that includes things that aren't just archery related, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, we started that. Basically, we started that one because we wanted to really touch on camping, because we really we do other stuff, of course. Any hunter does other stuff. So
Yeah.
one of our hobbies that in our group is camping, fishing, that type of stuff. So we thought, you know what? We used to do Boner Plant podcast, but then we thought, let's just flip it to outdoor podcast, because we just want to cover more stuff. to me, it was like you can only talk so much about archery. You know what I mean? At some point, it becomes boring. No offense. Obviously, we do it. We love it. But I'm just saying, there's nothing left to talk about. I can interview the same people every year, and it's boring, right? Like, I have to bring in something new. So we start capturing the idea of let's bring in RVers, like people who go, like the Jerkies. They were on our show last year, and they're this husband and wife. They just travel the whole country. They have like hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. They travel the whole country. In this, they buy an RV, set it up, and go. It's such an interesting conversation, to talk to someone like that.
Well, yeah.
But what they see and what they experience, and it's just so sweet.
Interesting life, just going all over the country, right?
And then we also ended up getting, we wanted to reach out to new sponsors, so we were able to then bring in like a gun sponsor, 6 Hour sponsor us the first year. I mean, it was a big deal.
Sure.
And that having those guys behind us for a year was a real big stepping stone to keep pushing forward. And it was nice because we could cover gun shooting sports. We could cover other stuff, and everybody does all these things. You know what I mean? It's like, just because we're archers doesn't mean we don't go use guns and have fun, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a good learning experience, I think, to flip. It was a hard decision, but, in the end, it just made more sense,
Yeah, it does. Gives you new avenues for new content, which I think
Correct.
is probably important. And it's funny, I asked E-Dub earlier because you guys knew each other. That's why you're here. Like, I know you're not a hunter.
Gatherer.
Or you're more of a gatherer. French fries and
Pizza.
like that. Pizza. Yeah, I like to gather pizza. And he said that you guys might camping, and I told
A lot
him
of camping, yeah.
I said I'm sure that you're a far better camper than Daryl might be.
Well, I have a camper. He has a cabin he rents. I have
Yes.
a camper.
Yes,
So
right.
yeah, I guess I have a little edge on him.
Yeah, you got the edge. He's
He's got east though. He could just leave and not have to mess with him.
that is true. Yeah,
So there
that's
are
good, man.
advantages and disadvantages
Yeah,
there.
right, man.
It's just important to encourage people to get out there and
Exactly.
enjoy the great
Yeah,
Just
no, you should.
outdoors.
I do like to go camping as long as there's a cabin available.
That's
kinda-
fine, yeah.
not
It's-
really camping at that point.
Join us next year.
I will. Where'd you guys go?
Oh man, last
we've
year
been
was
everywhere.
awesome. What was it, Mill Creek?
We've been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
So
That's a good song.
do you guys like pick out like a year out?
The
and
women
just-
do it. We don't
Oh, the
really do
women,
any of
okay.
that stuff. We
Women
just
are in
meet
charge.
up.
But we were up by your in-laws in Mackinac 2 years
That was
ago.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember that. You called into the show, didn't you?
I did, yeah. That was the big place up
That was
there.
great.
Right on the water.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful view of the
Fires on the water,
bridge.
the wind just blowing off
that's
the
cool,
beach.
man.
It was the coolest. It was a great experience. Like, I still think of that today. I'm like, that was such a great experience.
This year we were at a less scenic place, but they had all the amenities.
Okay.
Pickleball.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Dave's wife,
Yes.
borderline professional.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Lunatic, yeah.
Do you get in the pickleball too?
I did it for a while, and then it got.
I have yet to try it. I would like to just give it a whirl.
Oh, it's great. It's a great sport. It's just that my wife and the people we played with are like pretty serious. Like, they played a lot, like too much for me. I have the archery stuff, I'm like, I think I'll not be able to go today. But they were playing like every day. I mean, they played a lot for a while, right before COVID. Then COVID hit and kind of messed up everything.
So they were in it before COVID. That's before it even
That was the beginning,
blew
yeah.
up, right?
Did you ever check out her podcast?
I did not know she had a podcast.
Pickleball Planet.
You're full of shit.
She wants me. They want to do it. I said, you should do it. I can help put it together.
Tell her we can rent her out some space up here.
Yeah, pickleball planet, baby.
Pickleball. That's taking over the world, man.
Oh, it's
Everybody's
huge.
playing pickleball.
They'll probably be in the Olympics soon.
I'm sure.
I like tennis, and it's kind of putting tennis to the
Oh, yeah.
Kick into the curve.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah, because anybody can do it. Like older people can do it.
Right.
And, but real quick, I just want to finish this real quick because I started with it and I forgot. I totally went off track. We started in 2009. I had an idea to do a website for bow hunting, and so I asked my buddy Tim, who I went to college with at Central, and I said, "Hey, I want to do this website. I want to do something on bow hunting. I want to do a website." He's like, "Oh, whatever. I'm in. Whatever you want to do." So I was like, "Well, we got to get money to do it, because back then to create a website was like thousands of dollars. It
expensive
wasn't,
back
and it
then.
was garbage too compared to today's. So anyhow, we started a dog waste removal business to make the money.
Seriously.
So
Wow.
what is going on here? I'm trying to tell a story, and we're oh my
This guy
god,
caught a
Jose.
ball and he's excited about it.
Indians are hitting home runs.
Throw back.
It's right.
Bad news.
So we raised the money using picking up dog poop, which is hilarious. And then like from there we started it, and it was just started as a community to start. And then eventually I told Tim, I was like, I think we should like do YouTube videos. He's like, I don't think so. I'm like, I think we should do it, And so that was the big help for us because doing that allowed us to start getting companies to put some trust into us and like give us a chance to like review their product, show it off. And we didn't have any following, but like it helped build it from that point on, because we started. Then some companies would take a chance, say, yeah, we'll do it. I wasn't asking for like huge things here, but like still, I get it. They don't want to. But again, it's hard to do that type of work and then pay for the product, right? Because then then it's like, how do you afford it? At a certain point, it's too expensive. And the people who do it today that kind of not want to say copy us, but do similar to us, they don't do what we do. They actually have a pro shop they own. So they take the products from what they're already paying
From they already bought, yeah.
So we're only media. Like we don't own anything like that, So every company supports us to get videos done.
Sure.
So when we do a video, it's it's powered by that company. It's not necessarily, us just buying the product and do it, which is fine. Some people rather see that, and I'm okay with that. But we're like the originals. We're the OGs. There was only one guy older than us, and he left. He doesn't do it no more, so we kind of took the OG title now.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. And the videos, they're really well done. We watched a few
they're
today.
fun. They're fun to make, man. And I'll be honest, and I know you like cameras and stuff too. I love doing cameras. Tim hates me because I always spend all our money on cameras. I'm like, I got to get this lens. I got to get. But like, I always want it to look better, Like the better I can make it look, the high quality, companies will respect that. People will respect that when they see the quality, at a higher level. And so I purposely try to buy the best of the best, not the best of the best, but somewhere in the $5,000 mark that's going to be just right for internet stuff. TV's different. It's a whole different
Whole different ball game.
Whole different issue there.
Yeah. No, that's pretty awesome. And it is. It's really good stuff. And again, I'm not a bow hunter, but I really enjoyed watching those videos that we watched today. And I wrote down one question I want to ask you, and then I want to get to the chat because we have some chat here as well. What was your best hunt of all time, if you have one that was your best?
I think the one that comes to mind, I'm going to put aside like the kid stuff because like obviously hunting with my son was a big deal.
Sure.
And him getting his first deer was probably my best thing, but I'll put that aside just kind of talk about friend ones. But I would say when Tim got his first doe, because it basically worked out where 2 deer came into a field at our friend Lane's house, and Tim and I went to Lane's. He only owns like 10 acres, so it wasn't very big. And Lane's a great guy. He like writes children's books, and they're about hunting and outdoors. He's like a teacher, a principal at a school. He's a great guy up north in Kingston area. And so this deer comes out. Tim shoots his first deer. He's super pumped, but the deer came in with 2 deer, and the second deer ran into my field, and I shot that deer. So we ended up doubling on 2 deer in that same night. It was just such a magical. And not to mention, we watched a show the night before, and it was called The Hunted, I think. And it's a hunting guy did it.
Okay.
But it's about like a ghost in the woods at night, and it's so freaky. Like it is so scary. And we watched it, so we're freaking out, walking out in the morning. I'll never forget that moment. I was like, oh my God, I was actually kind of nervous myself. And never get nervous, but it's like, just imagine walking through like a black forest and it's dead quiet and you just hear like a woman scream. You know what I mean? Like it's like that type of creepy. And I was like waiting for it, like on eggs, it's crazy.
All right, man. Daryl, your best hunt? Was that when you were hunting for the pizza that Portnoy reviewed down
The
there?
best pizza in Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
Got plenty
Was it deep
of
dish?
hunting stories.
Was it deep? No, it's not deep dish. We had that one. The one from, can't think of the name.
The pizza
Flat
guy.
Rock?
What's
Not
his name?
Flat Rock.
What's the guy's name?
Yeah.
Oh,
Louis? No, not Louis.
Dan,
I don't know.
Dan's Good Pizza?
Was it
Dan's good.
What
Dan's
happened to
good?
that place?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
So
to that.
good.
They got too big too soon.
I think so.
Yeah. Too big to
They
fail.
fell.
What's next on the agenda here?
I used to do a lot of hunting as is fishing hunting?
Not really, but it's still
think so.
fishing, still fun.
I used to do a lot of fishing.
Outdoor category.
I used to run into problems though, getting the fish off the hook.
Yeah, it's
was
always the hard
always
part. I'm going to run through
problem.
the chat real quick here. Snoop's in the chat. He says, LFG rally hats. Yeah, we got to turn these inside out, man, because we need the Tigers to win. Zach L. What's going on, Zach L? He says, is CD and Njoku for Kamara and Laporta a fair deal? I'll say that again.
So, okay.
CD and Njoku
Yep.
for Kamara and Laporta.
No.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't
Not
think
right
so
now.
either.
Kamara's probably the
No,
the
I like
best in the
Laporta
group.
better too, so I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. You into fantasy football, Dave?
No.
No?
Unfortunately,
Okay.
I can't do everything, so
No,
I
that's
try to
true.
stay away from it. My kid does it, though. My kid
that's
and
smart.
Kevin does it, my father-in-law.
You don't mean to focus on so many
I
things.
can't do everything, man. I'm so overwhelmed.
Fantasy bow hunting.
That actually was a thing for a short period of time. I have no
Seriously.
idea how it worked, but I remember hearing about it. They were
Fantasy
talking
bow
about it.
Deadly Tedley's the first pick, I believe.
Deadly Telly doesn't count because Deadly Telly only hunts high fence.
Now
I don't know what that means. You're gonna have to
that.
explain that.
So, and I love Ted Nugent. I mean, he's a great guy. He hunts. He's a great hunter. But the thing is, he hunts high fences, which means pen deer,
Oh, he's got
pen
his own
animals.
property.
Yeah, this is like 2,000 acres enclosed with a 20-foot fence.
It's stacked, right?
The deer bought and paid for, by him and his family, whatever. They grow up there, but like it's like a compound. It's not wild. It's not like free range. They call it free range when you hunt anywhere. So
Does that
he wouldn't be able
cause-
to count. So he wouldn't. That's like Pope and Young. Like if you kill the deer for Pope and Young, it's like a category. They if your deer was killed in these specific rules, you could put it in Pope and Young book and be a record deer. Can't do that if you do high fence. That's not. It's like the first number one rule.
Yeah,
And you
that
also,
makes sense. Yeah.
You're not really supposed to promote not promote. But you're not really supposed to like gloat about killing pen deer.
I see.
So,
Yeah.
it's people do it and whatever. If you got the money, it's you own the deer. It's your choice if you want to do that. But I mean, it's not something you're like, oh, I shot a monster,
Right.
'Cause
In my backyard.
Yeah, it's
with a
basically like saying
30-foot
that.
fence.
I've never heard Deadly Tedley brag about anything.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times his show, he'll kill like 3 deer every time. You're like, wow, this guy gets so many deer, and you're like, oh, he's at Sunrise, his place there in Lansing,
Texas? Oh.
Jackson.
Oh.
Sorry, we have both. He has Jackson and Texas.
Okay. I thought he was gone from
He
Michigan.
was on our podcast once, and to be honest with
Oh,
you,
yeah?
it was crazy, man. Like we were talking to his wife about
That's cool.
her workout thing, and then he just came out. It's like, "What up, my brother bow hunters from Michigan?" And we're like, "Oh my god!" We're all freaking out. It's like our first year of the podcast. We're like, "What do we say to him?"
Dude.
It's like, "How was it hunt with Fred Bear?" We're like trying to like come up with these, and he was like nuts. And then he was coming into town for a concert at Freedom Hill, and he's like, and we bought tickets already. We're like, "Oh, we're gonna see you at Freedom Hill, Ted." He's like. He goes, don't be waiting for me because I won't be waiting for you. Like, come on.
No worries,
Why
Ted.
can't we say hi?
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so funny.
That is pretty
But,
cool.
Yeah, then we played that. So we always go to Imlay City for this place called Woods and Water Outdoor Weekend. It's a huge event, all hunting related. They have puppies and trucks and John Deeres, like, everything, bow hunting, gun hunting. We do the podcast live there while people are walking in the door. It's really fun. There's like thousands of people come through it. And at one point we took a break and we're like, all right, let's just play episodes on the speakers. So we start playing the Ted Nugent episode because he's a Michigander.
Sure.
Dude, there was like 200 people gathered around our booth and they're like looking for Ted. And then one lady comes like, goes, where's Ted? I'm like, this is just a recording.
It's a recording of Ted.
Tied up.
Tie game.
Wow.
2-2, man.
My
This is a
kid
good
street. Wow.
Dave, have you ever been to the Hilltop?
I'm not sure I know
question.
that.
The Hilltop's at 21 in Van Dyke. It's a little bar. Holds about 80.
game. Have you ever been to the Hilltop?
But numbers guys we've been there live
We've
before,
done
so
live. We've done live. We're
Big
going
live
to do it
show.
again.
we're not
Yeah.
sweating it either.
Lions game, hopefully.
Yeah.
Thursday night. Oh, they got the pizzas out.
So Zach, back to you.
We had a solid 25 people around us.
Oh, easy 25.
Nice.
Easy 25.
I mean, we don't normally get 200 around us.
No,
It was
I
only
know.
because we played that episode.
Yeah.
Or when we start throwing shirts out for free. Then people do the same
Free
thing.
shit, man. People
They
like
were
the free
going
shit.
all around. We're running through the crowd with a microphone, like asking people questions. Where's the kids? They can spin the wheel to win something. That was fun. That was a good time.
Ours involved people asking Jim to put his shirt back on.
That's usually what happens. It happens. I think that the consensus here, Zach, I'm sorry to answer your question, is no. CD and Njoku for Kamara and Laporta, not a fair deal, especially with what's going on in New Orleans. I don't think
Not a fair deal.
I don't think that's a fair deal. And then we got smoked meats and treats. He says, "Let's go, Dave. BHP
Thank you,
rules."
Smoke.
Welcome,
Appreciate that.
Smoked meats.
Smoked meat, is that a store or?
Not sure. Smoked meats must make something. Smoked meats. What are you hooking me up with, man? We use some beef jerky for around here.
Oh yeah, we could use.
we
some
could
beef
just be eating
jerky.
it right now.
Yeah,
I'm
we should
promoting
have-
it for you.
You know what? We should have turkey. with having
So what's the name of that place that's on
Smokehouse.
the Smokehouse?
Yeah, I knew exactly where you're going
Right
with
by
that.
I-69?
It's- Yeah, there. Did you see it? Did you see it lately? It's
No.
amazing. It burned down. They redid the
I
whole
remember
thing.
that.
Oh, really?
And it is incredible right now. It looks like a huge compound. It looks like something you see at Disney or something. It's unbelievable.
Have you ever been there, Jimmy?
I have not.
I'll tell you what, man. If you want to just get a sandwich on a Sunday afternoon, You got to go.
That's the place to
It's
be.
not that far from your house. This is what, Imlay? Is it?
Yeah, it's like just past Armada, between Imlay City and Armada.
Okay.
Yeah, on the left. Right before you go into Imlay, it's right there on the left, right before you do the turn.
I've actually heard of this place before.
Dude,
It's
smoked chicken nachos.
Smoked chicken
Or
nachos?
pork.
Okay.
Or pork nachos.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll have to check that out, man.
They had them at the Woods and Water. That's why I know. I just ate it.
Gotcha.
Just had it was so good.
Gotcha. Yeah, it isn't too far from
Is this like all to go place? Can you sit there? And
You can
have-
sit there. Yeah, there's some benches outside.
Okay.
I like your guys' YouTube award, by the way. It's really nice.
the one up there. Yeah, that was for 50 subscribers at one point.
I love that you guys made one. I actually want to make one myself. That's a good idea.
That's the way to do it. My son made that for us, and yeah, I'll have him put one out for you.
I've worked,
you'd
dude.
like.
I've worked so hard to try to get the silver one. Like I've been
hard to do.
trying to get that YouTube page to 100,000 for so long because I just want that award. Like I
Sure.
don't care about anything else.
Right.
I just want one award to all the work we did. You know.
So how are we doing? It's been about a year and not quite a half. We've got
256, I think.
It's gonna start.
256.
Yeah,
It's gonna start compounding soon.
Well, it's the shorts, man. I'm telling you right now, shorts will dominate every time. Like you could take clips of this show, the clips you're doing, all these things we're talking about. It's a lot of work, though. I'm not going to act like it's not. However, there are some AI programs that will cut it for you,
I've seen that.
and they do
yeah.
work. I
Okay.
mean, they do work.
Repurpose
I played with some, and it was
yeah,
good experience.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. You're at 58,900. So you're probably going to be after this show 58,901.
Well, hopefully
Would be my
100,000.
guess.
And we can
Jim's
just go
mom is
straight to
very
goal.
good about subscribing.
She is. Yeah, she probably already subscribed to you. Snoop, by the way, says, ask Dubs for alligator beer.
Alligator beer.
What's he referring to?
I don't know.
We need some more context on that one.
Yeah, elaborate, Snoops.
And before I forget, the link, Dave, to your the Bowhunter Planet and your YouTube channel is in the video description. But if you want to give out, I don't have your like Facebook or Instagram or anything like
It's all
that.
Bowhunter Planet.
Bowhunter
We
Planet.
own the name. We trademarked it
Nice.
Nice.
Back in 2009.
a long time ago. Yeah, we actually just renewed all our trademarks, and I added more. I was able to add Bowhunter Space Planet
Okay.
and Bowhunter Planet, and then BHP Bowhunter
Gotcha.
Planet. So we added a few.
Oh,
So
cool.
It cost me a lot of money, but it was.
Is that,
it was worth it.
Easy process to do that?
No,
no,
not at all. I have to use a lawyer. It's not. If you don't, do you guys have lawyers here?
Jimmy's practice.
That's
But
not
you
true.
do that type of law?
That's not true. No, I'm not an
Yeah.
attorney.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm a non-attorney spokesman.
So a
I don't know
trademark
what
attorney.
you Dubs talking
Sometimes
about.
when there's accounting involved, there's a lawyer usually. That's why I
Yeah,
asked.
we recommend Charles Shaw.
Yeah, right down the road.
Not
Mr.
wine.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Shaw may or may not do trademarks. You know, like there might be a specific group
niche.
of them that do it.
Yes.
Is that another home run, or what am I looking at here?
Foul ball.
Oh,
Or, yeah, foul ball.
Foul ball.
This is so stressful. The
I know.
podcast.
We're getting in the meat of the game here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Boy, you know what that means.
Do you know what that means, Dave?
I have no
Dave,
clue
you know what
what's
that means?
happening, but I think it's something to do with
It's
this
like the
Tiger
Kentucky
game.
Derby.
It does sound like the Kentucky Derby. No, it's time.
Oh, my God.
For
Jakey Poo.
damn. It is time for the presidential election betting odds, sponsored
Dun,
by
dun, dun.
bowhunterplanet.com. No, that's not true,
No.
but it might as well be.
Hunters would, yeah, definitely, probably.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what happened this week. Take a look at this.
It's moved.
It has moved. Kamalala. She is now even money everywhere but Caesars. That was down. She was minus 110. I think she was everywhere. And Donald, he is now
Holy
minus
cow.
125.
The
at
pendulum has shifted
Bet365.
back.
It
It's
has
been shifting
shifted.
back and forth last couple months.
I'm not sure what changed it, but something
It's the
obviously did.
cats.
You think it's the cats?
I think
You
it's
think
the
the
cats.
You think the cats are laying their money down on Donald moving the market, possibly? So that is your.
Those are real bets, huh? That's real info.
That's real info.
Out
Yeah.
of state, out of the country, you can't bet.
Can you
in the
bet
US.
it? Oh, you
Not
can't bet
US.
it.
In Canada, you can.
Interesting.
Something's changed in the last few weeks, though.
Yes,
I feel like things are always changing.
they did change some of the laws regarding this, but I don't. None of the U.S. books have it that I've seen yet.
Yeah,
So these are all
just-
Canadian books.
By state or something? Or maybe it's a sweepstakes deal or something?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Something like that. So, Tones, any idea what prompted the shift there?
I don't know if the recency. I mean, hurricanes response. I don't know if that has any play in people's minds. I don't know how it's handled and how each candidate's responding to that. I don't know.
All right.
Not much
Excellent.
has
Good
really
insight there.
happened. I mean, the VP.
This
VP
was since the
debates.
debate. I mean,
Yeah.
long after it, right?
Yeah, the
No?
VP
Couple
debate.
weeks?
I don't know if that
CBS.
swung anything. So.
CBS interviews.
She did.
Oh, that could be.
Kamala did
Yeah.
that at 60 Minutes and that
View.
interview, and maybe that's not helping her cause. I don't know.
I'd say that's probably an understatement.
Having a beer with Colbert when there's a hurricane ravaging Florida is probably not a good
Hey,
idea.
at least she had a high life. I got to hand it to her on that. That was pretty good. Pretty good. So
Dave, if you were given a choice between the current presidential candidates or the vice presidential candidates for president, what would you choose?
I will never answer that question publicly, but I have what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do, but the thing is I am so like for me, I always stay out of the politics in my show and in my
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I would
And the reason is it's
agree.
not that I don't have my own feelings about the things, but the problem is when you come to Bow Hunter Planet, like I don't want you having to think about anything else
Right.
but having fun in archery. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and this people do this all the time. I'll be in a live feed and people are like, who you vote for? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. It's not going to happen.
It's just it's a lightning rod.
It's a lightning
Yeah.
rod. You're going to lose people. It's not. I don't even care really about losing or gaining. It's just a matter of like You don't come here to deal with it. You know what I mean? You come in here.
You're not talking about politics.
Correct.
And that's
Yeah. I mean, it's just
that's not your
just-
show. That's not your.
It's not
deal.
what we do necessarily.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, there's just I'm more interested in the things like that's been exposed, like things like JFK, like what's going on with JFK, the moon landing, like those things are very interesting to me. Like,
Oh
I'm
my,
like,
that's Tones.
what's going on here, right? Some of these things just seem a little sketch. I also don't understand the whole thing with Elon Musk was talking about something about the vapor around the Earth and you can't escape it, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Didn't we go to the moon? Like, I don't get it. Like, what do you mean you can't escape it?
And he's
You
trying
can't-
to go to Mars.
Well,
right?
that's what he's
Yeah,
saying. He's
so-
saying, well, we can't get past this vapor barrier. And I'm like, what? I don't even, is that outside the moon?
Well, I would
Yeah.
agree.
Like, I'm a little confused, but
Was that a
My RFK.
was that your
impression
RFK Jr.?
just came
That
out.
was pretty good. That was a good.
Came out of
Not
nowhere.
too bad.
One more time.
I can't. It's hard to replicate.
What do you say? My uncle,
my
brother.
what's wrong with his voice, by the way? Is it something? Is
He had a
got like
vocal cord damage from
Oh.
procedure, I think.
Got it.
right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was. He's got something wrong with him
Yeah.
with his vocals.
Yeah.
It's distinguished.
Well, we try to remain apolitical here as well, but we do need to report the current betting odds.
It is
That
interesting.
important
Yeah,
for
that
us.
is interesting. That's why I asked. I was like, wow.
That's been a weekly thing for, 3 months we've been doing that?
I think Rich hates it. He's like, we got to do this again. I'm like, yeah, we're doing it till
Yeah,
November
it's-
5th, bro.
It's nice
Bro.
to keep a pulse on it.
I hate to say I agree with Rich, but I think Dave is right. You should just leave this out of the conversation.
Oh, no, it's important. We cover betting markets.
We
Also,
don't need Gary up here with his red hat on.
in the chat, Snoop says, I'll go, man, my Guinness is better. Oh, about the beer that we tasted. You're probably right. Your Guinness, I'm sure, is great. Also, Nuge is my boy. Sends him mega hats and coffee beans. And he does. And then also, Daryl saw Bigfoot. Did you see Bigfoot?
Is this Gary again?
This is Snoop. Yeah.
You saw Bigfoot? What? You didn't tell me. You told Snoop?
Dave, don't you have a coffee sponsor there?
We do Deer Camp Coffee. They're amazing. Yeah, in downtown. Damn! I was going to bring you guys some. I actually thought about that. I was like, oh, I should bring some coffee. But Deer Camp, they have a store on 15 in Dodge Park area, and it is just awesome, man. You go in there, they got like old Uncle Henry's meats and stuff from Troy. They're out of Troy, and they have like that. They have all Michigan stuff in there. It's really
So
something.
is it by Ventimiglia's? Or?
Yes, right next door.
Oh, okay.
yeah, right next
I
door.
was just there.
Yeah.
Like 3 days ago.
He's in that
Coffee.
little sub right to the right of it. If you were to go, well, no. So Veglamentia's, you go right. There's the Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
and he's to the right of that.
Okay. Yeah, no, right where that's at.
It's awesome.
Check that out. You
So
hear
the
that, Snoop?
coffee's worth
There's a Boner Plant labeled bag. If you're going to buy one, buy that one.
I will certainly buy that one. No doubt about it.
boner coffee.
By the way, we have Alexandra LaRocca, the first time she's ever commented.
Wow.
Who is that? Alexandra. We know Alexandra LaRocca. She says, love you guys, with some exclamation points, Toads.
Yeah.
I like that.
We
Shout out.
love you too, Alexandra LaRocca.
Wifey.
Ask her if she's ever had. Can you ask Alexandra if she's ever had campfire?
You talking Deer Camp Coffee?
Deer Camp Coffee.
Allie, have you ever had Deer Camp Coffee? Daryl wants to know. And then
They
smoked
have
meats
one
and
in Mayo.
treats.
She
Again.
Yes, John.
She sticks to
There you go.
Starbucks and Tim Hortons, I think.
Yeah. All right. While we're waiting for that, let's
Calling
get down with a
the
little trivia.
masters of facts, the sultans of stats, the czars of knowledge that isn't learned in college.
This is
It's the Numbers Guys trivia.
It is time for Numbers Guys Trivia. Folks, at home, the way this works, if you haven't seen the show before, is I give these guys a trivia question. They answer the trivia question. If everybody gets it right, I got to buy the beer next week. If nobody gets it right, I got to buy the beer next week. And if it's pretty much it's stacked against me here, Dave. And then whoever does not get it right would then, of course, have to buy the beer the following week. Dave, of course, is exempted from this. Also, Allie in the chat says, what beer are you drinking? She's late to the show. Tonight's beer, Allie, was Hazy Crooked Tree IPA from Dark Horse Brewing in Marshall.
She might like
Michigan.
it with a little grapefruit taste.
You know, I never gave a score on that, by the way. I got
was
so
gonna
wrapped
say,
up in
yeah,
what Dave was saying.
number?
What'd you think?
I'm going to give it a 4, flat 4. Easy drinking for you non-IPA fans, I'd say even. Easy drinking.
Cut the grass and have a couple of those.
Yeah. Okay, so here's tonight's TNG trivia. How many times did 49er quarterback Joe Montana win Super Bowl MVP?
Wow, what a catch.
That was a great catch.
Wow.
Yeah. How many times did 49er quarterback Joe Montana win Super Bowl MVP? And of course, I will reveal the answer later on in the show. And also, you know what I forgot to do on this? Anybody have any picks for tonight's game as one of your top picks?
I got the Wings going to start the NHL season. I got the Wings money line against the Pens. And on my own, I did a Tigers Wings parlay, but I didn't put that in the bets because the Tigers game was starting before. So
Gotcha.
In real life.
IRL. DW, do you have anything?
I got the Wings and the Liberty. I think they both kick off around 8-ish.
Yeah.
What time is it now?
You got about 50,
You got time.
7 minutes.
That's a parlay. It pays plus 137. So
You're kidding me. You guys both have parlay. Or Tones doesn't have a parlay for the top picks tonight. Right?
no, just the Wings. I did that as a swing.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I actually have a parlay tonight, which I don't think I've really done much of that on the show. We have a single game parlay. Same game parlay. I got the Niners -3.5 and then over 48.5. I think the spot really works out well for the Niners.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think there's going to be a ton of scoring. You're probably going to have Seattle working from behind tonight. I think it's going to be a good one. So that number's moved a lot, too. The total, 49, it's been up to, I think it might have hit 50 at one point. I actually got it at 46.5 earlier in the week, but I think it's still at 48.5. It's still a play. That's going to be +2 and change over at FanDuel. So Niners -3.5, over 48.5. And Allie says, that sounds good to me. Snoop wants to know what the WTF was in that bag.
not telling.
What was in the the
It's the
bag?
spear.
That bag.
It's
yeah,
the
it was
spear,
it was
Gary.
spear,
We didn't want to
It's the
spoil
beer,
it for
G.
you. This is why you're tuning in right now. Hazy Crooked Tree Indian Pale Ale. I'm not in this camera. There it is. That was what was in the bag there. I just wanted to make sure you tuned in.
That was pretty shrewd of you, D-Dub.
I'm pretty shrewd guy.
Yeah. And before we get into
Hear that a lot.
what's Snoop saying,
He's
starting trouble.
in trouble.
Let me show you guys College Football Joe's top picks for the week.
Okay.
College Football Joe, he's 9-9 in the season.
Okay.
Yeah, College Football Joe. You guys tell me what you think about this. LSU +3.5 at home against Miss, -115 at FanDuel.
I was almost going to take the other side of the
You're
equation.
going to take the other
I
side?
didn't bet it, but I was thinking about it.
Interesting. It's interesting. I don't know that I would have an opinion on this one because Ole Miss can put the points up.
Yeah, if
So-
they're clicking, if they're on, they're tough to beat. But they could also be beat by a crappy team because they're not focused.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're both ranked in the top 15 there, 9 and 13 LSU. So why is LSU getting? Might be some injury concerns.
Yeah.
I believe. I don't know the whole story, but it seems like an.
I
odd
trust
number.
Lane Kiffin over Kelly in
Yeah.
this game.
Well, not a big Lane Kiffin guy either, but yes.
Yeah, we know you don't like Lane Kiffin.
Nah, I remember when Alabama, when he was the offensive coordinator at Alabama, and after a win, they left him there. They didn't let him on the
Didn't
bus.
want him. That's why you don't like him. How about this one? How about Penn State? I know Tone's a big Penn State guy.
Nah,
Penn State
I
laying
was-
4, USC.
I was looking at this and I couldn't wrap my head around picking this game, but I don't know. I don't know if Penn State's played enough tough teams yet to see.
They played UCLA.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's going to tell us a lot about Penn State, I think, this weekend. So
Now, Dave, are you an NFL guy or are you a college football guy or neither?
I'm more of a college football guy.
Oh, you are more of a college football guy. Yeah. Okay. Any thoughts on LSU plus 3.5 or Penn State laying 4?
I would say LSU's probably going to pull that one out.
Gotcha.
I just feel like, I don't know. I like Brian Kelly. I feel like he's got the
Was he
advantage.
there during your stay in Mount Pleasant?
No, he came in after, I think. He was at Grand Valley when I was at Grand Valley. I went for a year there. And then he came to Central, but I think he came after me. But after watching what he did with Central and Cincinnati, then, I mean, the guy's unbelievable. Notre Dame, I mean, he didn't do the best at Notre Dame, but, he still did a good job. So
he did Grand Valley, then Central, then Cincinnati.
Yep.
And okay.
So Grand Valley took him, I think, to a championship, Central championship, Cincinnati, I think, right? They went like undefeated or something,
I think
right?
so.
Yeah, the guy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do
He's
that?
got a good track
It's
record.
crazy.
Did you play football at Grand Valley?
No. Did some high school ball, but it's yeah. I wouldn't say like I did the best I could. Put it that way.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on the list of things not to ask Dave about.
Not to bring up.
Yeah. All right, and then he's got BYU minus 3.5, laying 3.5 at home against Arizona.
Yes.
115.
Drop, baby.
Oh, that wasn't. You weren't talking about college football jokes. I thought you were really excited
me
about
off,
it
too.
Yeah,
I was like, what's going on here?
Professionalism.
No, this is
This is
playoff.
intense, man.
this is big
It's
time.
ALCS on the line right now here.
Guy on first, nobody out. Bottom of the is that? I'm sorry. Yeah,
Bottom of
bottom of the
six.
sixth.
Yep.
That says. I like
You
it.
might have to
Crunch time.
mute Gary for a minute because he's getting
Gary's on a bender right
too
now.
many messages.
But I'm going to
in
go
right
back to smoked meats and treats. I like this guy.
Yeah.
Welcome again, smoked meats and treats. He says Grand Valley has one hell of a football team for a small school. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That is
believe
true.
it. Very true.
They won like 3 in a row in that Kelly era. I think one or two of them came before he was there, but yeah, Grand Valley. I think they're moving to Division 1, or maybe they are Division 1 now.
Probably. When I was there, it's actually funny. They had this guy named Mike Tennessee, and he actually played with me when I was in high school. And the guy was like unbelievable.
Did you go to Stevenson?
No, I went to Roseville. And
Okay.
he played for Stevenson.
Yeah, that's right.
And we played them, and it was like disaster. I mean, they did this play. I'll never forget it. I was like, what is going on right now? They hiked the ball and fumbled it on purpose. And then
really?
Mike Tennessee or Joel is one of the two guys, scoop it up, and they literally just run an S pattern the whole way until it's a touchdown. I'm like, what is happening right now? Pretty wild. Somebody stopped this guy.
You weren't prepared for that one.
No,
Practice.
we were like, what is happening? But the funniest part about playing Stevenson at the time, today Stevenson's not as good as it used to be, but the funniest part was the first play of the game, we ran a play and we got like 95 yards on the play. And we got stopped at the 5-yard line, did not get in. But the point was, it looked like we knew what we were doing for a split second. It was like crazy.
the first
play.
drive.
We're
Yeah.
like, wow, we could do this. No, that was smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, I did. I was there. They were a little bit behind me, but I know both those guys. Pretty interesting.
The old fumble Rooski.
It's the Annabelle Against the Spread Challenge with the numbers guy and Jorel.
I love coconut. This is actually really good.
All right, there we go. Jorel loves coconuts. He can't make it. He can't make it on the phone tonight. Yes,
What am I going to do with the rest of my night?
Well, I don't know. But
I guess I'll watch the Red Wings game later.
Yeah, you might have to watch the Red Wings game. This is now. Let me explain to the folks at home. So the Against the Spread Challenge, also known as the Race for the Chi-Chi's Cup. Actually, Daryl, you explain this. I have the Chi-Chi's Cup right here. Explain how this works.
Well, there's 4 numbers, guys. Maybe 3 after tonight. Although Dave
Sans one
is
tonight.
making case to be the 4th.
I think he's
Numbers
already
guy.
made the case. You busy
But-
on most Thursdays, Dave?
Possibly, we'll see.
Right.
Typically, it's Jimmy and Anthony and Rich and I, and we each pick one game
Yes.
against the spread,
Yes.
according to, by Jorel's wish, ESPN Bet,
Correct.
which
We use their
Jorel is now
lines.
banned at.
Yes.
And Jorel,
He's a football handicapper, by the way.
Professional
by trade.
handicapper.
Yes. He challenged us.
our amateur handicapper,
I think he's pro now.
pro handicapper.
Yeah.
He picks 4 games, and we go head to head. Our 4 versus his 4. Sometimes we might have duplicate games.
Yeah,
Sometimes
today-
we might have duplicate teams.
Yeah. Yeah. Very well could have.
So that basically sums it up. Right now we're kicking Jorel's arse, I think.
We are. I'm going to put this on the screen right now, actually. Here
See
we
how
go.
much he loves coconuts at the end of
Yeah,
this
he's not
thing.
going to like coconuts anymore. 13-6-1 are the numbers, guys. We are doing pretty well. We got a 3.5 game advantage over Silk, also known as Jorel. He is 10-10, and the winner of the Chi-Chi's Challenge gets the coveted Chi-Chi's Cup.
Now, were those Chi-Chi's cold at one point?
These have been cold and warm and cold and warm again.
Well, when you
But if
award,
we win, I'll replace them. with
when you
fresh
award,
ones.
I'm going to put it in a deep freezer the night before you award it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Be frozen.
That's a good.
Jorel, we'll see how much you like coconuts when you're drinking room temperature.
Yeah, it's not as good when it's room temperature. I'll tell you that. So here is what Jorel's picks are, also known as Silk. His picks for the week. He's got the Ravens laying 6.5 against the Commodes.
Wrong.
Sharp pick.
I think. You think? Well, I don't know. I think Tones might be against him. He's got the Pack
Sharp.
laying 4.5 against the Cardinals. Oh, we're going to overlap on a couple games here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's got the Bengals laying 3.5
Sharp.
against the Giants, and then the Lions laying 3
Homer.
Sunday afternoon against the Dallas Cowboys. On to our picks. Let's start with Tones. You're here. Commodes plus 6.5 against Jorel in this one. What's up with this?
I love how they're playing. It's not. I don't think it's a fluke anymore. Just a hot start, couple games. Jaden Daniels looking awesome. Offense is clicking. I think they could hang with anybody, and especially Baltimore. I'll take the 6.5 with them. I think they'll stay in the game. Not saying they're going to win, but I think it'll be like a field goal or so game, and I think they'll cover that.
I hope you're right.
I think you might be right. You may be crazy. Dubs, you took the Packers laying 4.5 against the Cards. Same as Jorel. What's your thought process if you have one?
Oh, I just threw a dart at the board.
That's what I do.
Saw what stuck.
Yeah.
Packers, yeah, they lost last week, but Love's first game back. They're ready to go, and they played much better in the second half. You're going to see, and Cards coming off a victory. The Cards, I think this number might reflect them winning, Packers losing. It probably should be more like 6.5.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then would you like to tell everybody? Rich took. I'm sorry, it's me. I thought Rich was last this week. It's me. I took the Bengals laying 3.5 against the Giants. Listen, the Giants maybe ranked 15th on their pass defense, and the Bengals, everything's starting to click. Chase, Higgins.
They finally are playing.
Oh, they're looking
better.
good, baby.
Yeah,
They're
look
looking
like
good. Everybody's
garbage
healthy.
The first few weeks. So.
Yeah, I think this is kind of no-brainer. This could be one that they win by 20.
I could see them having a breakout game against the Giants there.
And the W, want to pretend you're rich and say why he took the Falcons laying 6 against the lowly Carolina Panthers.
The Dirty Birds. The Dirty Birds are flying.
Is that for our buddy Quiz?
I don't think he did it for Chris.
It is for Chris.
No.
I like birds.
Yes, that used to sound like Rich. It's a pretty good impression.
you.
Yeah, so that is going to be our picks.
I'm not apple picking here in October.
Yeah,
It's not a bad time.
something like that. All right. Oop, I just showed that. Now, Dave, we do this thing every week. We try to cover every single NFL game. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work. How much time you got? You got anywhere to be in the next 7 to 8 hours?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Ideally 30 minutes.
Yeah, so what we do is we go through every NFL game. We put a timer on the screen. It can't go over 2.5 minutes per game. So it'll be done in 30 minutes. That's the key. And just basically, which team do you like? Would you place a bet on either side? And that's the way we do it. So we'll do this. We're going to keep it as fast as possible tonight. Here we go.
I'm D-Dub.
I am Towns.
I'm Richie, and in my neighborhood, we have a train that comes through. Woo woo!
And I'm JT, the whole NFL, and possibly the ghost of Andy Rooney
Why are there patches on suit jackets?
in 30 minutes. You good?
Yeah, you're good.
I'm out.
Oh, I gotta edit that out. Okay. All right. That was dangerously close that time. Holy shit. Never know what you're going to get on this show. Okay, first game, San Francisco and Seattle. Let's skip over that one. You want to skip over that one? Or you want
That's
to talk
tonight's
about it?
game, right?
That's tonight's game.
Yeah.
Starting already.
Okay.
Okay, we'll skip that one. But let's get right into the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Chicago Bears. This one is actually overseas in London
Oh, yes.
at Hotspur Stadium. Going to be a 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time start. The Bears laying 1.5, 44-ish, 44.5 is the total. DW, you want to start?
Yeah,
this?
give me the Jaguars money line. The Jaguars are accustomed to going out there each and every year, I do believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
That's basically their second home.
I think so. Even though their owner is an Indian fella. So do you think they'd be going
What does that have to do with it?
to India or something? I don't know.
Well, London and Indian, there's a connection.
Uh-oh.
Drop.
Woo! Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a go. Oh my gosh.
Wow, that was clutch.
This is getting nerve-wracking,
That was
guys.
clutch.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was clutch.
If you have to tap out at any
Look
point,
at this.
Dave.
Holy.
I'm going to go with the theory traveling low-scoring teams already. I like the under the 44.5 here.
Okay. Dave, you like anything here?
Don't know much about those. No, sorry.
Okay.
The NFL is probably the worst area for me, except for the Lions, of course. You're like, let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, we'll make it real quick, and we'll just you chime in.
I'll use a bathroom break while you guys
okay.
are doing that.
Okay, perfect. It's
You'll be back for game 2.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it better be a long break.
have
man.
some jerky downstairs and then come back.
Yeah, come on back up. Yeah. Oh man, Tigers are up 3-2. Runners on the corners. Bottom of the 6th, 2 down. What's the count? Can't see.
0-1.
0-1.
Yeah.
This guy looks like
To-
somebody's cousin.
To the home run hitter already, Zach McKinstry.
Well, how exciting is this? Well, I just got to pull my.
Who would have
pull my
thought, man?
bottle
We'd be
up
sitting here up 3-2 with a chance to go to the ALCS.
Talking about India.
Yeah.
You know that I think the British invented the Indian Pale Ale.
The British?
Yeah,
In
'cause
India?
I
Through
believe
the,
India used to be a colony of the
Yes.
British Empire.
they
and
went after all their tea over there, I think. Right?
They dumped their tea
The
and
West,
they
Indian?
they dumped their IPAs into the
I
Bay
think that
of
came later.
Bengal.
That came later.
I'm gonna try to keep this really quick. So I got my numbers come to the Bears laying 5.2. They're laying 2.5. I'm not a huge fan of this spot here for the Bears. Young team going overseas like that. No real experience, as opposed, I think, as you said, the Jags are over there all the time. So I'm gonna stay off of this. My total came to 47. I ain't doing it. Hey, look at that. All right, next on the list,
Bases
the
juiced?
Cards at the Green Bay Packers. Pack laying 5. Basically, you can get a juiced 4.5 over at FanDuel. Total is 47. Tones, what do you think here?
I don't know. Arizona's been kind of all over the place, and I hate picking teams in our division because I'm like, we need Green Bay and Vikings to start losing. But I think Green Bay wins by a TD in this game, though. So I'm gonna take the Pack here.
D-Dub?
for reasons already mentioned, I like the Packers. Oh shoot, I'm watching that Tigers game
That's
again.
a double play.
Yeah, the Tigers could have added a lot more runs in
Yeah.
the course of this first 6 innings, but unfortunately, they're just not stringing them together at the right time.
I'll take a lead going in the 7th with the Tigers.
We'll take a leak going into the 7th.
Bring in
leaks.
Bring in Bo Brisky for shut
Yeah.
it down. 3 innings. Good
Yeah.
Brisky.
That'd be great.
Really? I would have thought it'd be the
Oh, Brisky's my boy, dude.
Velt, or what's
I
that
love
guy's
him.
name?
Will Vest?
Will
Vest.
Yeah.
That dude can sling
He's
it.
good too.
Got any thoughts about the Packers and Cards, Dave? Do you like teams that have fans that wear cheese on their head?
No. So I guess I'll go with the other one.
Yeah, going the other way.
Smoked Gouda.
This was my favorite pick, but you took it before I could.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Packers, my numbers come to laying 7.5
Yeah.
on this, and number you can get them laying 4.5. I'm gonna get off once we're done here. I'm gonna play that. I'm playing that one. That looks like a good one to me.
I didn't realize how many things people can bet on with
Oh,
football.
it's crazy.
My nephews
it's-
taught me the other day because
That's crazy.
they came from Florida just to go to the Lions game the other day with my sister, and they won, which was great. But they were telling me like, oh, like you could do a bet on so and so getting 70 yards, just 70 yards. And I'm like, oh, easy bet, do it.
Yeah. There's a ton of it, man.
It's almost too much stuff to look
Yeah,
at.
that's what he's saying. So you could bet on anything.
Anything
I
you
can't imagine if you counted them all up, Jimmy. There's got to be 200 choices a game.
want per game. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. For each market, you're talking.
Craziness.
Okay, we got the Commodes. This is Tones. We'll start with Tones on this one again. The Commodes against the Ravens. Commodes laying 6.5 to 7, depending on where you go. Total is across the board, left to right, 51.5.
Like I
Tones.
mentioned, I love how Washington's playing, and they've been steady every week. It's not just a couple hot games, from a surprise team. They look like they've put it together, and they got the right QB in the draft. Kudos to their GM for making the right pick there. And I think they're going to give Baltimore everything they could handle and keep it very close. So,
Yeah, 7 sounds better than the 6.5
Yeah.
for sure, right? Maybe get a 7.5.
7.5 would be
Even
excellent.
better.
So,
I feel the same way. I probably would lean toward possibly betting the Ravens because it's probably just it's a Jorel thing. It's a feel thing.
It's a feel thing.
That it's time for the Ravens to lay another smackdown on somebody.
Yeah.
They play to their opponent, and I think the Commodores are pretty good.
Yeah, the
If it was the Raiders at Baltimore, I'd say, look out, Raiders.
well, and the Commodores, Commodes, whatever you want to call them, Commanders, Redskins, they have no defense. It's just absent.
It's gotten better, though. The first week of the season, it was god-awful. I think you'll find that the numbers show that they're a little better the last few weeks.
I think you're going to find that my point total comes to 54.5.
Okay.
It's at 51. Can you believe that? 51? And I'm going to say go over on the 51. I'm saying go over the 51. And also my spread came to Ravens lay in 10. I think take the 6.5 if you can. Yeah, you can still get it. FanDuel 6.5, slight juice, 5 cents. That's where I stand.
I'm going to say, Jimmy, that if the total was 40 and it was a 3.5 point difference between your number and their number.
Oh, it'd be much
a
more
little
attractive.
Yeah,
no, I agree with you.
At that high number,
The high numbers.
I don't know if I could get down with that one.
Well, that's the beauty of it. You don't have to pick it.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's okay. Next up, the Browns. Everybody's favorite here. Versus the Eagles. A rejuvenated A.J. Brown, Eagles. Eagles
back.
I believe he's back. Laying 9.5, 9 some places. I think this opens 7 or 6.5. Really shot up.
Out.
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 That's what I would say.
That is out. 42.5 is the total. D-Dub, lead us off here.
The Browns that's really more of a Jimmy thing. I'm down with the Eagles, I guess, in this scenario, but god dang, that's a lot of points. Eagles were off last week. Is that correct, Jimmy? Refresh my memory.
I believe they're coming off a bye, yeah.
So I think I'd take a chance on them getting it going off the bye versus the Browns, who've had rough go of it here. Rough start to the first quarter of the season.
Yeah.
Would I play that number? No, but I might even tease it down to 3.5, and it's still not a great number, but I think they'll probably win by a touchdown for sure.
Yeah, Cleveland's offense has been atrocious at best. I could see Philly winning 10 to 13 point range in this game. So I'm not betting it, but if I had to take something, I would take Philly. I think they could at least cover by 10. So
Will they ever sit Watson down? Bring in Jameis.
too much money in them. I think they have to ride them for a little while
Yeah,
at
I think
least.
so. Yep, I think so too. I got nothing on this one. My number came to 8. Yeah, call it 9. It's at 9.5. No play there. 43 is my total. 42.5 is the number. No thanks. Moving on. How about the Houston Texans minus Nico Collins this week, and actually probably for several weeks. Texans at the lowly New England Pats. New England at home dog, getting 6.5 to 7. A huge total on this one. 38. And D-Dub, lead us off.
Is it lowly or lonely?
Lonely?
I always thought it was lonely.
I don't know.
The Lonely Patriots.
I'd say lowly.
Think about a same game parlay here, maybe. Maybe Houston money line, the over 30, maybe something like that. And how about a passing prop on Shroud?
I believe I have that in pocket. Not as a top pick, but I do. Yeah.
That whole same game parlay?
No. Well, I think I do.
Wow.
Actually, I might. I have a lot this week.
We got a single.
Oh no.
Bob Costas would have called that a out.
Tones, you
Based
want
on
to
his yesterday?
touch on this?
Yeah, I want to believe in the Texans, and I think they could put a decent game together against the Pats. I think they could cover the TD, so I would take the Texans here.
Taking the Texans.
Yes.
Dave, you like the Texans or the Patriots?
I'm going
It's a pretty shitty game.
I'm gonna go Patriots.
Oh,
I'm gonna
see?
go with the plus because I just.
That's a smart play. That's a smart play.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the smart play.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
In fact, if Silk was here, you'd say you're sharp. You'd call you sharp because I think that is a pretty sharp play. However, I got nothing here. I got the Pats should be +7. Hey, guess what? They're +7. 37 is the total I come up with. 38's the total. No dice. Nothing doing. Okay.
Dave, you like the bumper music?
Yeah, it's interesting. What is it exactly?
It's just
like
some
elevator music.
Yeah.
Red Wings just took the lead.
Wings are up.
I'm liking my Tigers Wings parlay.
That's nice, man.
Going.
I didn't
Where'd
do
you
that.
see
I
that
should
at?
I'm gonna see what my cash out offers.
Where is it?
It might
up
be on
there?
the other screen.
Yeah, left side.
They just scored.
It might have flipped
it just
already.
left.
Oh,
It
okay.
just left.
Did you take that?
Is this a scoreboard back here?
It's got
No,
odds.
no.
Yeah, odds and live
scores?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. This was an interesting game. Colts at Titans.
go.
This was originally my pick
Yeah.
for the Silk Challenge, the Chi-Chi's Challenge. But that was back when the Titans were +1. That flipped today. Now they're as low as -3. So that is not playable for me. But in any event, Titans either -2.5 or -3. 43 is the total. Titans at Colts in Tennessee. Who wants that?
I'm not watching this game and I'm not betting it. So
Tease the
Pass.
Colts. Tease the Colts at DK. It was 2.5, so I already screwed up because it's up to 3 now. But it would be Colts. You'll see it later. Colts getting 8.5, and Broncos getting 8.5.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's going to be a top pick of yours. Yeah.
You'll see later in the
All right,
show.
we'll see. Dave, you like this game? This is going to be a fun game to watch.
No.
No? Perfect. And neither do I. I'm not going to do anything here. You got, really, the Colts, I think they're pretty much, they didn't even have a team this week.
Richardson's back, though,
Richardson's
right?
back. That's all. He's not going to have anybody to, nobody's running, nobody's throwing, or nobody's catching. It's kind
Marvin
of important.
Harrison Sr.?
Is he, yeah, stay away from this one. If anything, go with the Titans, even at that number, I think. But, I don't know. It's ugly. That one's ugly. All right. How about the, oh, by the way, I shouldn't say shout out to our folks in Florida, but we're definitely thinking about the people in Florida and Georgia and the Carolinas and Tennessee that have all been hit by hurricanes recently. So
Dave, do you have any bow hunters subscribers down there in the hurricane area?
I'm not sure about this specific area, but we have actually subscribers from everywhere.
Yeah.
All around the world. We have people in China. We have people in Indonesia.
Wow,
We have people
okay.
in Australia.
do you have subtitles on your
Irish
videos?
There's Irish people. No, actually we don't. They could probably there's probably ways to do it, but a lot of people in Texas, a lot of people in Florida,
Bet you got a lot of people in Canada.
a lot of people in Canada.
You got subtitles for that?
Yep.
A.
CANADA.
That's Canada. All right, so the Buccaneers, they left town, obviously. They're practicing at Tulane, and they are playing the New Orleans Saints of New Orleans, as Rich might say. The Saints getting 3 at home, 3.5 at home, actually. You got that quarterback in there that is not David Carr.
The Rattler.
Spencer Rattler.
Spent some
That's
time
right.
at South Carolina. Spent some time at Oklahoma.
41.5 total. Anybody?
I'm not a fan of Rattler. I think Buccaneers have had some played pretty tough most of their games. I know Saints started off real hot, but I just don't think they're going to get the offense rolling with Rattler, so I would take the Bucs here. So.
Maybe getting 3.5. I have a funny feeling that they're going to dumb it down for Rattler and just play Kamara, run it.
Tampa's got a tough run D, though.
I was telling Jim last week that it seems like when these numbers change so significantly that the team that was originally favored, aka the Saints, somehow seem to find a way to still manage the victory. I have a feeling that that's going to happen this week. The Saints need a win. They've lost a couple in a row here, and they were once DVOA's top team, and their numbers are still good because they had those victories that were 30-plus points, and that helps your overall model there, right, Jimmy?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. I'm putting the bet in right now. on
Oh.
this.
But Yeah, I have a lean toward the Saints. Maybe at FanDuel 3.5 might be a play.
I've been waiting for this to get to 3 all day. Tampa Bay, lane 3, all day. There's no question in my mind about that.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Just did it, actually.
I concur.
Yeah, you concur. Very well. Very, very well.
This game's very nerve-wracking.
It is. We're in the stress period.
This
here.
is very
Need
stressful.
to find a way here.
Oh, God, please no.
No,
God, please no.
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 Oh, out of all the things that happen.
No.
Not against Brisky.
What the
dude.
heck?
Oh, man.
Dang.
Not on Brisky.
He almost caught that.
The worst part is I was thinking in my mind, like, all he has to do is not give up a home run. I mean, like,
And there he did.
Damn it.
my gosh.
2 outs, single turned into.
Turned to a 1-run lead.
Brisky doesn't give up that shit, though. Damn.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that guy in 0-2. 0-2.
Jeez.
That's.
Fry.
What a game, though. I mean, if the Tigers win this, what a game to be at. I'll be honest. It's back and forth.
I guess Richie made the right decision to go to the game instead of being here.
Right
The fans are not happy.
Damn.
He threw that thing right down the gutter, man. That was a real risky, isn't it?
Yeah, I
On
wonder-
2-2?
Did he? I don't think that's what it was. He trying to do that, you think?
Hung it there.
Yeah.
Jeez, this out doesn't matter now.
That's unfortunate.
Damn it.
Is that.
What's
Looks
that?
like the guy from Goodwill Hunting.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Matt Damon.
Not Matt Damon, the other guy.
Damon.
I can't think of his buddy's name.
Oh.
Guy married
He's going to get this guy.
Yes.
Ben
Affleck.
something?
Affleck.
Can't believe he crushed it that far.
Yeah, he
That's
nailed it.
crazy, dude.
Oh, so close. All right, Chargers and Broncos. I got to keep moving here. Otherwise, it's going to be another 3-hour episode. Got the Broncos getting 3. Tones, I'm going to give this. You start with this one. 35.5 is the total in Denver.
This is one of my picks for the show. Chargers coming off a bye. I think that long to plan with Harbaugh. I think they'll come in and put a solid game together, and I would take the Chargers minus the 3.
Will they cheat at all?
No cheating.
I'll
No
take the
sightseeing.
Broncos teased. That's the leg I was telling you about before, getting 8.5. I think that's a good play. I think the wrong team might be favored potentially.
Well, I'll tell you what. The model does say that it's Broncos laying one point.
That's great.
what I
How many
got.
units are you going to put on them Broncos?
I took the other side. I took the
Wow.
Chargers earlier in the week, -2.
Sheesh.
Tones, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Who's got the coaching advantage?
Oh, Chargers.
You think the Chargers? Harbaugh over the Visor?
Yeah.
Now, is this Harbaugh 2021?
I think you got to go the Chargers here off the bye. I don't think Denver. I know a lot has been made about Denver's defense. I think if you look at who they've played, I don't think they're as good as you might think.
Who's got more Super Bowls?
And that makes no difference.
Oh.
That's what we're doing.
But
We're
you're
moving
saying
through
who's a
these.
better
We're in the
coach?
4:00 window, by the way. Stillers at the Raiders. I know what your boy Silk would say. Stillers all the way. But anyway, Raiders +3 at home dog, 36.5. Another low total game. D-Dub, what do you got?
I think this game really is a toss-up, but I do think the Steelers are going to find a way to win. But I would never bet on them, especially laying the points.
Yeah, I'm not betting it, but I agree with D-Dub and Silk. I would take the Steelers if I had to make a bet here. So.
Yeah, my number comes to Raiders +1. They're getting 3. That's actually probably a play. I'd probably take them at 3. Why not, right? And then total, I got 37.5. The game, the line is 36.5. So
Be a low scoring affair.
nothing there.
That's for sure.
On the point total. Almost done. Holy cow. Falcons, Chris is in Vegas. He's not watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Vegas. Falcons at the Panthers in Carolina. 6.5. There's a 5 at Caesars. That's interesting.
Okay. That's a big, well.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, if you want to take the Falcons, get them at 5. And then your point total, 47. Anybody.
You probably should bet the Falcons because they're playing the Panthers, but I'm not. I don't think. I think the Panthers are going to have another win in them this season. At some point.
At some point. I think it's this one.
+6 is pretty low. Is a lot, isn't it?
That's quite a few points.
Yeah. And
the Falcons that bad? I mean, they'd be a +6.
No, the Falcons are pretty good, actually. The Panthers are +6. So
Maybe one of those triple dips that you used to talk about, Jimmy.
I haven't done any of that.
Imagine getting 16.5.
Teasers has been getting smoked because the long favorites, short favorites rather, not doing well this year.
You got to think outside the box this year.
Yeah. Tones?
I know Carolina played a tough or pretty decent game or two, I should say, but I still don't believe in them. I think the Falcons' offense is explosive enough. I think they win by at least 7 to 10. Take the Falcons.
I'm staying away on this one. I know Richie put it as top pick. It comes right to the same number as I come up with, so not doing anything with this one. And how about, hey, make sure Dave, you can get involved in this
Dave,
one.
We'll let you
In fact, you can lead this one off. You got the Lions at the Cowboys here.
I'm going to look at the way the Lions been playing. I'm just going to have to say that, they're going to get it done. There's no way around it. It's a sure bet, guys. The way they've been playing lately, I don't know.
They've been playing pretty well. I think so. Coming off a bye, too.
Yeah. They'll be rested, maybe healthier, right? Get some player or two back.
Sure.
Yep.
I think in this case, for sure, I think the Lions will pull that one.
Got it. Tones? Lions?
Yeah, the boys' rush defense is not the greatest in the world, and we have the best running back combo in the league. I think we get some big chunk running plays throughout this game. Will help us chew some clock up and keep the boys' offense off the field as much as possible. So, yeah, I think the Lions by a TD.
There's revenge on their mind.
Yes. And that's going to come into play.
Last year, Jimmy?
Yeah, I remember that.
Campbell, I'm telling you, Campbell circled this game, and he's going to have them fired up. So
I probably wouldn't play it, but I think the Lions will win probably by 3.
Yeah.
It's a no play then, right?
I got a no play, and I'll tell you what. I get the wrong team is favored. You ever hear that one, Dave?
Heard tell of that, but I don't know if that's true in this case.
Wrong team's favored. Here's what I got. Put this up here. I got
unless you think there's
Cowboys,
that big of an advantage in the
minus 1.7
home field.
No, and it's Lions minus 3. I'm going to stay away from this one. Let my fandom, not get in the way, as you might say. Yeah, I'm staying away. Bengals, Giants. Bengals and Giants. I like this one.
Yeah, you've been hitting this one hard.
I've been hitting this one hard. I got every number possible, every total on this game that's been available. I've had it on the over.
You like some props in this game?
I got some props too. I got all kinds of stuff. 3.5 is what the Giants are getting at home. Home dog. 47-48 is the total. And who would like to start?
It seems like the Bengals are getting rolling here, so I guess I probably would play the minus 3.5. Anthony?
Same. I like the Bengals are finally getting the offense in gear. I don't think the Giants will be able to keep up, and I think they covered it.
The Bengals can't really afford another loss.
No, they need it badly if they want to stay in the playoff race.
Would they possibly, cash out and just not
play out the string? They need to string a couple games together here.
Yep, I already said my piece on this, so I'm not going to go any further. This is, by the way, the Sunday night game. We only got one more game to go, guys. So this is a world record for the NFL in 30. You got the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. A little New York rivalry here. New York football Jets with a new coach, interim coach, defensive coordinator, right, Tons?
Yes.
Yeah. Jets getting 2.5 at home, if you want to call it at home. 41 is the total. Go ahead. Who would like it?
I think with the coaching situation, there's a little chaos going on with the Jets. Who knows if Rodgers had anything to do with this not getting along with Salah. I don't know. I think Buffalo comes in and takes care of business on this game here. So I can see the Bills by 7. So
I got this one in a teaser earlier in the week. The numbers changed and it's gone back, and I do like the Jets teased, getting 8.5. Put through the key numbers. Yeah. Call that a Wong.
Call it a Wong.
Call it a Wong.
I got Jets should be getting 4.5. They're getting 2.5, but I think there might be that little bump for the new coach. I'm gonna stay away from this one. My total came to 43. It's at 41. No dice there, and this will conclude in record time.
That was pretty quick.
The NFL in 30 minutes. Usually this is like it's supposed to be 30 minutes, Dave, and it's like a 2-hour affair.
It's usually 50 plus.
Yeah, we're not as chatty tonight without Rich and some of the other guests that we have on. So I can appreciate that. I can get home to my family at some point tonight. Let's review our top pick standings.
That's their problem.
Yeah, sorry, wife and kids. Sorry about that.
My family has gone out tonight to look for the Northern Lights.
Is it
They're always like hunting for that.
very visible tonight?
It's supposed to be.
My buddy found them. They're up in Gladwin. He found them.
Oh, you found them?
You could see them there. He sent me a picture. He goes, they're out tonight in our camping spot we own. Nice. So he's there. They're all laying on the ground. I can see them. I checked my camera. They're all laying on the ground.
God, watching it. It is pretty cool.
What is that toward like Bay City, Gladwin?
No, it's gonna be north of that, just north of Mount Pleasant. So
okay,
maybe more to the east, but yeah,
okay.
Beautiful area.
I will catch up on the chat too. Snoop says Tone spent 4 hours on that parlay today. you were working on that for quite a while.
I was working it.
Yeah. Let's see. He says he thought it was alligator beer.
No,
No?
I didn't show him, and no, it's a horse. It's got a horse on the can.
Okay.
He thought that was an alligator.
I think he thought that was an alligator.
He's snooping. That's why you call him Snoop?
That's why we call him
So
Snoop.
he's snooping around?
Maybe you thought the tree was an alligator.
That could be. It does. It's like alligator
green.
colored. That's for
Maybe
sure.
he's from Florida.
Yeah, could be. All right, so
I
here's our
didn't
top
realize
pick.
Snoop was a clever nickname.
Yeah, it's a pretty clever nickname, isn't it? All right, Richie. Richie's not here tonight to defend himself, but he's actually been doing pretty good in the NFL. For his lifetime, he's down about two units. Last 30 days, he's up 2.83. Last 90 days, up 2.22. Tones, NFL has not been your strong suit, at least not for your lifetime, but you're doing okay this year. Down 2.65 units. The last 30, 90, you're down 0.17. D-Dub, I'm sorry. You are the one where NFL isn't your strong suit. I thought it was Tones. D-Dub down 14.85 for his lifetime. Last 30 down 5.52. 90 days 9.52. Yours truly, I'm up 18.13 units for my lifetime. I've been doing all right on the NFL.
Mine will probably be good if the Lions win. I'll just have one.
Yeah, you'll be 100%, man. That's what you got.
And then cash up.
Then we'll take a look over here at NCAA football. Your boy Richie, he's actually positive on this. 0.39 units. Last 30 days, he's up 1.25. Tones, this is your strong suit, pal. For your lifetime, up 4.81. Struggling a little bit this year.
Yeah,
D-Dub, struggling over his lifetime, but the last 90 days, you had some good picks early on in the college football season. I gave up on this a long time ago. As far as for all of our picks throughout the entire show, Rich, 312 units wrist. He's down 28.11 units. D-Dub, wrist, 290 units. He's down 17.65 units. Tones, wrist 384. He's down 24.37. I've wrist 280. I'm up 35.44 units. And collectively, as a group, the numbers, guys, we've been through 1,186 units wrist on the show. Do you believe that?
It's a lot of units.
It's a lot of units, but we're down 34.68 units.
These are the top picks.
And it is time for the top picks. Everybody's favorite part. This is where we have 6 units, Dave, that we can allocate every week to whatever bets we want. And Tones, you're first. What's happening in the game? Strike out. Okay.
Same pitch they threw in the first.
Damn it.
Gotta be kidding me. This guy's.
I wanted to kick off the Red Wings season. Their home opener tonight. They're up 1-0 in the first period. I think they're going to follow the Tigers' trajectory and get back in the playoffs this year. Maybe not run it as far as the Tigers are, but they'll be back peaking in the playoffs for the first time in like 7 years. So.
And you got the score on that right now?
I think it was up 1-0 last
1-0
time I
still.
checked recently. Yes.
Okay.
1-0.
NCAA football, baby.
I don't know how to pick in this game. It's going to be the marquee matchup of the weekend. I think two pretty good defenses. Both offenses haven't really faced a very good defensive challenge. And I could see this being a 17-20, 20-24 something type game. So I like the under in this game.
Like the under in that one. Dave, you got any thoughts on Ohio State or Oregon? Or no?
Oregon.
I mean,
Oregon, yeah.
Oregon.
I think Ohio State will win, but
I think you're probably
I don't like Ohio State, but that's my Ohio friends. But,
we love Ohio on the show, but
exactly. I'm not a huge Ohio State fan, but I do think they're a great team, and I think that they'll probably be one of the hardest teams to beat this year in our conference.
I think you're probably right. Tones?
The Red River rivalry here. Oklahoma's at home. I think that extra half a point with the 14.5 at home, I think this game will be closer than that, so maybe a 10-point game. Still think Texas will win, but I think Oklahoma could keep it to about 10-point spread there. So
That's a lot of points.
I think that might be at a neutral field, though, right?
Oh, is that?
I
It
think
could
so.
be.
I think so.
That could be true. As I mentioned in our picks, I like the Commanders here. They've been solid all season, probably one of the most consistent teams. Great young offense. I think they're going to give the Ravens fits this weekend here. And I like the Bucs with Saints losing their QB. I don't have faith in their replacement. Bucs have been playing tough. They gave the Lions their only L, and I think the Bucs could cover the 3.5 there.
Yes, sir. On the D-Dub.
Played at the State Fair of Texas.
State Fair. Okay.
Every year. Yes, sir.
That's right.
D-Dub moneyline pick. Liberty. That's not University of Liberty. That's the WNBA
Is this
Liberty.
The finals?
Finals.
WNBA, yeah.
Game 1 tonight. Let's see if we can get a
Sir.
score on that.
I have a question.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
I don't do a lot of this betting stuff, so I don't understand. I've heard the word before. I see it on the screen. I was just curious what it means. What's parlay actually mean?
Go ahead, D-Dub.
It's just when you put two bets together, and both bets have to win, but the odds paid out are significantly
Increases
higher.
your payout potential. Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
So give me an example.
Well, so a lot of times you'll see the numbers that are listed after the teams there, money line. So that just means there's no spread taken into account. They just have to win. And so if you the 202, if you put $100, you would win $202. If you that $100 would also be returned to you that you put down, you'd get the 302 back, and basically that 302 would be put into the next bet, and then so you got 302 on whatever the money line odds are.
So you have to do two bets, and so you could lose it because you have to go through twice.
At a minimum of two.
Yeah.
You could put 15 things together and have astronomical
The
odds.
odds start stacking.
It can get
But this has to
pretty-
do with a straight win or loss, or does this have to do with like guy who got 60 yards or not?
It can do
just-
all that
whatever
stuff.
you want.
Combine it all. So, like, I could take the Lions -3, Goff over 250 passing yards.
Wow.
Laporta to get a TD. You could package
So
that up
Dave to get a buck over a doe.
Yeah.
He
Crossbow.
one shot.
crossbow
I saw that
or
on DraftKings
compound.
earlier.
Forward compound,
Yeah.
which broadhead, a
Plus or
fixed blade
minus
mechanical.
45.5 yards range.
Is there like a World Series of hunting?
No, God, can you imagine? The problem is the issue is private land because some people have access to like ungodly amounts of like 15,000 acres in Iowa. I mean, you're not going to top that. It's like them in Kansas, like some of the giantest bucks out there. So it'd only work if it was level playing field. So like if someone was willing to donate to a punt off, hey, there's 4 teams and those teams got to go head to head on this lot, and they flip for who gets what areas. I mean, that's the only way that you'd be able to do it. It had to be a fair playing field. You wouldn't be able to. Because otherwise you would just have guys shooting giants in, different states.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they own the land, That's what it's always is. When you see a TV show in hunting that these guys are shooting big bucks, they own the land. It's like they own these giant parcels.
It's hard to have a fair playing field.
It's
Other
not
sports,
fair,
you're
yeah.
in a stadium, a controlled environment, right?
Correct.
But hunting is a whole different.
It's just an open, free reign
Yeah.
issue. And again, nothing to it. It's their land. It's their prerogative type thing. But I'm just saying, like, they have a hunting show for a reason. They have these lots that are so large, and they have access to $1 million properties, that they can hold the deer. Deer can't leave because it's too big.
Okay.
You,
15,000 acres, they ain't leaving. There's no way. It's just.
you ever go to Big Buck Night?
Oh, yeah. I've been a big book guy. Yep. I know Michigan Outdoors TV very well.
Okay.
I've actually been on the show 3 times.
Recently?
Oh, wow. First time we started, another time, then they came to our studio the last time. That was about 2015 or 16, I think.
Oh, man, you got to get him out again.
I was trying to talk to Jenny, actually. I just saw her at the show. I didn't get a chance to talk to her, and I.
Oh, shit.
I thought he made that.
This is getting nerve-wracking, boys.
Oh, I thought he made that catch.
I thought he did too. He said they got a
These
double out
guys
of
are
it.
tearing us up right now. It's not good.
Yeah. Oh, Snoop says Job. Is Job in?
Yeah.
I think his pitcher's got
he
to go.
got the first 2 outs quick, and then this guy, he had him on the ropes, and
Oh, he didn't even
man.
touch it.
Cowardly at the end.
Yeah, you got
Austin
scared.
Meadows would have made that catch.
Oh, he took his eye off
He
it.
got a little cowardly there. He was doing good up to this point, and then he's like,
He's like, he saw the
I see the
Modelo.
wall.
At least it wasn't a homer. It was close.
He could have held it against the wall there.
Cost him two bags.
Jeez.
2 bags. DW said.
Come on, Joe.
So
Yeah, I got a multi-sport parlay here. It's the Red Wings. I'm thinking they're going to follow in the Tigers' footsteps and make the playoffs this year. Maybe not go as far as the Tigers,
That's
but
a good narrative.
yeah,
Good narrative.
and then Liberty. It's not Liberty University. It is the WNBA.
New York Liberty.
New York Liberty, and they have been the best team in the WNBA all year long.
no doubt.
And they had an extra 2 days of rest. I think that won't hurt them here. I think it will help them. And just the money line, they're 6.5-point favorites. I was wondering if we could find that game on the board, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's the parlay I told you about earlier.
All right, Job got it out.
Nice.
Got it out of the
Nice.
inning. Nice
right.
pressure inning, though, for Job, though.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, scary.
Ohio State lane 3, D-Dub.
Yeah, this is the one I told you about back on Monday or Sunday, Jimmy. And guess what happened? It got worse for me. I went the wrong way with it. It was 3.5 at the time, and now it's -3. Wow. And
Nice.
it could be close to going to 2.5. Maybe it's at -105 here at ESPN. I really think Ohio State's going to win by 7 to 14 points. Call it 10.5. So yeah, I'm on.
Is Oregon any good this year?
Oregon is good. I've seen them play, and I've seen Ohio State play Michigan State, and I think Ohio State's the better team. But I guess we'll find out.
Actually, real quick on that, I love the fact that the Big Ten is now large and it's got West Coast teams.
Very
because
diverse now.
Now they're going to learn how to play against air ball. People can throw the ball,
right.
and this is a big deal. Because every time we go up against the Alabamas and all these teams, we never compete. I mean, obviously we did last year, but I'm just saying normally we don't compete. And now with them having, USC, or is it USC? Yeah, is that right?
USC, UCLA,
USC,
Washington, and Oregon.
And Oregon. And what happened to Oregon State? They stayed in their conference?
They stayed with Washington State
Yeah.
in the Pac-12, just the only 2 teams left. And now they've recruited other teams to join them for next year.
They thought they were going to fold, but they're bringing in some teams now. So
Surprised they didn't just join, or they weren't invited.
They weren't invited to the Big Ten, and I think that was a mistake. I think
Yeah, I
there
would've
would be
took them all.
a couple good additions.
Yeah, why not?
Could have went after Arizona State, too. That would have been a couple good additions.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Subtraction by addition.
Yeah. Another NFL teaser for you. I think I've described this one ad nauseum. The Jets, it would be 2.5 going to 8.5, and the Broncos would be 2.5. It's going to 8.5. You know what a teaser is, Dave?
No.
You get 6 points for two games, but you got to win both of them. So it's sort of like a parlay, except you're getting points. It basically is a parlay, but the caveat is you're getting 6 points on each game. So, and then there's fixed odds of -120. And but yeah, you got to win both of them. And I'm going through key numbers of 3 and 7, getting 8.5 points. So if they lose by a touchdown, still win the bet. So I like this one.
Yeah, I like that one too, actually. I like that one too. But on to me, guys. On to me. I already said this one earlier. 49ers laying the 3.5 and the total of over 48.5. Went with that. That's going to pay $224, man. Can you believe that? $224.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, now back to the my boys, the Bengals. I got Higgins over 52.5 receiving yards. You can play this one. I'm thinking up to about 60. And -114 over at Bet Rivers. I already said it earlier that Burrow and the offense are getting going. New York Giants pass defense, nothing special here. I think that's a pretty easy one for him. I also have Jamar Chase to go over as well, but not a top pick. Not a top pick. All right, so we know Nico Collins is out. So I think that some of the target share that was his is going to go to our boy Stephon Diggs. I got him
probably
over.
get a little extra action there.
Oh, yeah, I think he'll do a little extra action. In fact, he's been averaging over 8 targets a game. Over 8 targets a game. All right, so over 60.5. You can play this one to 70. That's a 10-point or a 10-yard swing. I think you have left on that. -113 over at Bet Rivers.
Whoa!
Wow.
Show first.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's all right. So, was that you told you hit your face into the microphone? What is that?
I started clapping and I banged
Oh,
it.
that's okay.
Like one of those monkey toys.
No, it's no big deal. How about Marvin Harrison Jr. over 54.5 receiving yards? This is against the Packers. Harrison's been feast or famine this whole year, and last week was famine. All right, and
Week
Green
1
Bay,
was famine.
Week 1 was famine.
Weeks 2.
Feast. Those are feast. Those are feast weeks.
That's a feast.
Green Bay, if I can read, I can barely read my own notes here. Green Bay gives up the top 10 numbers for giving up receiving yards per game. Do you know that? They're in the top 10.
Packers?
Yes, the Packers.
Wow.
What are your top 10 numbers?
I don't know about my top 10 numbers. It's usually 1 through 9 and then sometimes 10. So minus 113 at Bet Rivers. I'm going with that. I got Tones. You like this one? Jameer Gibbs over 55.5.
Go.
Oh my God.
Go.
Go.
Oh my
Go.
God.
Go.
Go.
Go. Go. Now he's got it.
No.
Son of a bitch.
Can you imagine?
That'll get him. Oh, I didn't even get him to
Damn
second.
it.
Dang it.
What a waste.
Yeah.
What a waste of a
imagine,
hit,
yeah.
dude. That would have blown
Two
the
more
roof.
feet.
This is ruining my top picks and everything here, guys. This sucks. Come on.
I feel like I put the mic over here. I'm just like so stressful.
Yeah,
He
damn
didn't
it.
get
Damn,
scared off
dude.
by the warning track.
No, he didn't. Unlike, what's his face?
Perez.
Wendy Perez.
Wendy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's mess up his numbers. Don't bet on him.
Right.
Catching the ball.
Jeez.
Gibbs over 55.5. He's getting 5.2 yards per carry for 3 straight games. And I think he's going to have a pretty good game on the ground this week, and in the air. I think you could go over him probably receiving yards. I don't know what those numbers were, but he should have a good game on both sides there. Chargers minus 3 Tones. This was something. Did you take this too?
I did take a step.
Yeah, I said this earlier. You know, I think you got a coaching advantage here. I think you have Joe Alt back in the
my
lineup. There we go.
Come on, Homer. Put this game away.
Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, there was 2.5s available. But you can get even money on the plus 3s, and those are this week's top picks. No, it's not. Shit. Bengals minus 3.5. I got an extra pick in here.
Outro.
I'm taking out the Chargers. I'll take out the Chargers. I got the outro. I'm taking out the Chargers. Going to Bengals. Forget the Chargers. Forget I said that. Bengals laying 3.5.
Wait, you like the
Screwed that
Bengals,
up.
not the other one?
I'll take the Bengals, not the Chargers, for my top pick.
Pull the Chargers.
They're going to
Pull
close
the
their.
Chargers.
Oh boy.
Boy,
They're
this
going
is-
to Class A.
This is getting nerve wracking.
This
this
is
is
nervous time
nerve-wracking.
right now.
Is this the guy that they went yard off of? In
Yeah,
game
but
two?
he's supposedly the best closer
yeah,
in the league
Class
here.
A.
This guy got pulled fast, bro.
I think he's Class B, if you ask me.
Class B.
They took the other guy out, which I was surprised because he was really good.
Yeah.
That guy at the last break before
Yeah,
that.
the last picture. Yes.
That dude threw some wild looking stuff.
Here's our trivia question and answer. How many times did the 49er quarterback Joe Montana win a Super Bowl MVP?
I don't think this
That
is
the
too easy.
question. You
Nah,
don't think
it's
that was
not
too
easy.
easy?
It's
No.
not easy.
I kind of figured you guys would get this one. Let me pull up the answers real quick here.
I know they won that Jerry Rice won it once. So
Snoop says eating relievers for breakfast, by the way. Is the Tigers?
Huh.
Is that who's doing it? All right, so we got D-Dub. Says 2. That's a good answer.
I picked a number.
Yeah.
I
Pick
know
a number
Jerry
1
Rice,
through 3.
Jerry Rice won one, so that's one that Montana did not get.
Okay.
So
Dub.
I'm guessing he may have won the first 2, possibly, Montana.
You're going to find out here shortly.
Probably less than that, though.
Tones also.
I agreed with them. I knew Rice had at least one, so I thought 2 was a good number to shoot with.
And our guest, Dave,
Don't mind me. I
says 4.
didn't
No,
know.
you know, that
I
was a
couldn't
good
think
guess.
of how many they won, so I was like, you know what? I had 3, and I was like, I'm just gonna go 4 just in case. You know?
No, that's a good guess. Good guess. The correct response was, I'm buying the beer next week. 3.
3.
Oh, wow.
See, I was
Wow,
gonna,
yeah,
that's
you're
your
right there.
initial gut.
it would have been a random win because I was gonna say 3, and I thought, just go one more.
Your
Yeah.
gut won here.
It was 3. Super Bowls, what is that? 16,
Wow, so they won 4 then.
24.
If Rice won
I'm sorry, 19 and
Yeah,
24.
4.
Yes. Not good with Roman numerals.
No, it's not easy.
So,
We're
kind
not
of a
Roman numerals, guys.
Random baseball question.
Sure.
I was just thinking about that play where that guy caught the ball way in the back there. Just a question though. If he had fallen and hurt himself, the game keeps going,
It
right?
goes, yeah.
Until someone else gets the ball. I
Yeah,
mean, if
there's-
he's laying there like broke his ankle,
No,
can't move.
there's no real injury stoppage.
There's
in
no
baseball.
stoppage in baseball specifically during a play.
No.
Right. That's correct.
Here we go.
100%.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
This is the big league.
Boy,
Two
this
here.
is
guys
it.
on, 1 out. Is that 1 out?
Yeah, 1 out.
Oh
sir.
my god!
This is the big
Oh,
leagues.
whoa! We got time.
They at least got to find a way to tie the game at least here
Yeah.
going into the 9th. Find a way to get one in.
He unlocked his car on accident.
Yeah, what's
He wants to
going
make
on
Sure that somebody
What's he got? Pine tar?
Yeah,
Pine tar?
checking something?
Seriously, what's going on here?
is it the ear thing for their hat?
Yeah, they're,
Yeah, probably.
They got
Speaker.
They got voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
The catcher
Vocals.
now instead
Surprised
of
they're
giving
allowed to do that.
instead of giving symbols, they
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
In bow hunting, this would not be allowed, but here in Major League Baseball,
maybe in Ohio will be allowed.
Oh, that's a strike.
Dang, that guy
Jeez.
threw that ball
That's a
hard.
strike.
How fast was that as a show?
Come on, McKinstry.
And Snoop says,
usually
I
does.
got $20. The next one's 100. Parlay.
Parlay
and a
it.
strike.
Yeah, and a strike. So you got the hang of it now, Dave.
Oh, come on, man. Just give us one. Just give us one. Oh!
Chopper.
Oh, no!
It's okay. It's okay. We had a guy in third.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
We had a guy in third.
In a way,
One bloop single.
not
We just
bad,
need a bloop single.
but
Or a homer.
Or home
suicide
run.
squeeze.
Home run would be great, but
Folks at home, bear with us here. We're
Yeah,
just going
this
to watch the
is
end of this inning, I think, and not do anything else for a minute.
intense.
Yeah.
It's hard not to, specifically because you guys have a sports podcast, so it's like you kind of got to cover it.
Yeah, you got to watch it.
And you're live, so.
Right. Oh, boy.
this is stressful, dude.
I'll tell you, baseball's exciting. I forgot how exciting baseball
Playoff
is.
baseball is up there, dude.
Oof.
It's up there.
Is there any good boxing matches coming up? Or MMA?
MMA is more boxing. There's not many marquee.
It
boxing
seems
matches
like, the MMA has sort of put the boxing.
on ice.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, man. I went to this MMA fight. It was my son was doing this. It was like a competition at a local MMA place, and so basically they had like all these like, I don't know, like amateur guys that were still MMA fighters, but local type. But they come in from all over. Like these guys came from Ohio. Some people came from Indiana to fight at this dojo, whatever you want to call it. And anyway, it was like in a cage, like an actual, what do they call it, like a pentagon or something like that? It's like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
octagon.
Yeah.
It's like an octagon, and the guys get there. Anyways, all different sorts of fighting. There was jiu-jitsu, there was MMA, there was a kid fights where the kids, they're not allowed to punch you on the face. There's like specific rules where kids, but they can choke out and do stuff like that. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But oh god, so stressful. Anyway, the two heavyweights get up at the end, and the crowd, huge crowd in this place. This is like right by 21 in Van Dyke area, right over there. But anyway, 23, sorry, somewhere in there. And these guys are fighting for a while, and this is like straight, like they got those thin gloves, And this dude does a side kick and just totally catches this guy off guard and just clocks him like out. Dang.
No. End of the inning.
Yeah, so knocks him out. He drops, and then he's not moving. He doesn't move for a while. Like, it was kind of scary. I was like, dude, is that guy dead? Like, I mean, you break his neck or something? I mean, you could hear it. It was like it's not like a 2x4 hitting a wall. I mean, it was crazy. And the worst part is the guy didn't block it at all. Like, it was just like he totally missed it.
Just missed it and
He
took it right
missed
to the-
it, took
yeah.
it right to the face and went straight down. And yeah, that was nuts, man. That was the first time I ever see it in person. Obviously you see him on TV, but
Yeah, some of that stuff's a little hard to watch for me.
Yeah.
I don't need that much violence in my life,
yeah,
Boxing
it's-
is a little more.
The only time I like it though is like when there's a lot of YouTube and TikTok videos where they'll talk about like the guy's talking so much crap.
Oh, then,
Like,
then it's fine. Yeah, whoop his ass.
Yeah,
Sure,
and
sure,
then
sure.
they go at it. You're like, look what happens when you talk crap. It's just so
Yeah.
funny to me. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, Snoop also says Kansas City's losing.
They're losing right now.
Yeah.
It's a bearer of
could be a
bad
bad
news.
night. Could be a real bad night. All right, guys, let's do some shout outs and then we can
Shout out.
get out of here. Dave, anybody want to shout out?
I'm gonna shout out to my boy Tim up north, just enjoying the moonlight and the northern lights. Lucky
Nice.
man. And special thanks to John stopping in to say hi with the smoky meat. So it's not a company. This is my buddy John. And yeah, you guys should look into this. There's a lot of people I could recommend to come on the show, especially my buddy Jim, who he's like a head of live sports radio, and he does all sports, and he travels. Dude, he'd be a great conversation. He goes all over the country. He's been to like 20 Super Bowls. I mean, it's crazy.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's got
That'd be cool.
they do the earpiece, so when you're at that baseball game, you can hear what the announcer's saying through the earpiece.
Okay.
And because you don't hear anything, no one knows what's going on. Like, oh, it's 1-1. You can hear everything. The guy talking like, oh, so and so made the catch. First, tennis, golf, they do it for everything. So it's very interesting for sports specifically.
He's local.
Oh yeah,
Awesome. That would be cool.
Yeah, we're always looking for people to talk to.
Jim, you know
yeah.
where to come, baby.
Yeah, shout out Jim in advance. Thanks for being on the show, Jim, when you're on the show.
Shout out.
Next week, maybe? I don't know, just saying.
He texted me, he said that set's cool, so I'm sure he'll want to come on.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, I'd love to have you, Jimmy. Tones, anybody?
Shout
Dave
out.
for coming on. Thanks
Oh,
for the
yeah.
hunting
Yeah.
insight. Very
Yeah, I
good.
hope-
diversity to our show here. So.
Enjoy the wipes to wipe your butt. That's
Yeah,
gonna help
good
you.
wipes.
You guys
Jones is already thinking about that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna take
After
those
I had
home.
my hemorrhoid, that would have came in handy.
Yeah.
So.
Shout out to your ass, Jones.
Oh, thanks. Tigers, let's find a way to get this done. Come on. Let's do it.
Yeah. Dub?
Thanks, Dave. That was really cool. Maybe next time we can get Jamie on too. We'll
Yeah,
tell
he'd be
Rich,
so boring, but yeah.
In fact,
I'd love to get Jamie Craig.
Yes, sir.
Shout
Oh, you had somebody else. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
think that might be it. Sure. Let's
Good.
go with that.
That was a good shout out.
Shout out to the Northern Lights.
Northern Lights.
Shout
If you're listening,
Quiet.
Northern Lights,
Listen
wherever
quiet
you're
at
at.
home.
Dave, obviously, shout out to you, buddy. Thank you
Shout
again
out.
for coming. That was
Yes,
fun, and for the
thank you.
gifts. That's really
That's
awesome.
what I wanted to shoot out. The
Yeah,
gifts.
The gifts.
That's what we should have brought a crossbow, shot it in the studio, shot it across the studio.
We talked about this today.
I thought about it, and I was
talked
like,
about
I don't
this.
know. They might not want to hit a wall or something.
No.
And,
The next time. Next time
I
we're back,
did- I
we're going to
did-
shoot some shit.
I saw the
Whole thing
video
goes
where
I
you,
got to double check our umbrella policy here.
Yeah.
I saw the video where you made your own. What do you call that? The target. The target out of.
was it me or was it Corey? The guy you didn't
I
recognize?
thought it was you with the pads that you.
Yeah, it's
you,
Corey, yeah. He
Okay.
straps them like,
Yeah.
He's up in Alpena. He's so far away. I was just talking to him yesterday. He's like doing some videos for us, and I was like, how far is that from Gladwin? It's like 2 hours. I'm like, oh God. But yeah, he's awesome, man. He's a true outdoorsman. He's out there.
And I don't think you talked about your studio at all.
Oh yeah, our studio's awesome, man. It's 2,500 square feet of cabin. It looks like a cabin.
Oh, that's
wow,
freaking
that's
cool.
It's beautiful.
I like
and it's got its own rooms. It's got a room that's just for the podcast. That's all wood with cool backdrops, and then it's got like video rooms to film different types of segments. The one thing we just got, which is pretty cool, thanks to Deer Camp Coffees, they gave us a whiskey barrel, and they put like a top on it to sit and talk. So you can do a
that's
different
cool.
space.
A different
Like,
space.
You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
have this space, but then you could turn that space into another spot that's different, just
Right,
a different look,
to
a
change it
different
up. Yeah.
change up. So we were just talking about that. Like when guests come to our studio, we have our main room, but it doesn't like we want more room when a guest comes because we like to run DSLRs and stuff. So we have a guest coming soon. G5 Outdoors, they're awesome. They're local, and they'll come in, and Brian will bring new stuff to show people. But anyway, I was thinking that'd be cool for that table. It's on the whiskey barrel with the tabletop, and we could do it around a different set, which could change up and make it look nice. That'd be
Sure.
cool.
No, that's real cool.
I like the room, because we can play. It'd be like having double this room is what I have, really. And I can maybe even a little more, but I can work around, play, change. Like we can mess around with sets, and it's kind of fun.
That's
Take
pretty
Well, not only that, but you need room to like shoot shit.
Correct. We have to have
Yeah.
we have a 18-yard range, but we usually shoot 15 yards for our videos because it's just we want to be in a certain area. But if we need to sight in or do something distance, we can back up. But then from there, we go over to like my buddy's got about 20 acres in Emmett, so we can go to Emmett if we need to do like outdoor stuff or we're really shooting 100-yarders or something cool. But it's outdoors filming is a little bit better if you have some wood environment because it just looks good. The camera, the colors, everything just looks nice. You don't have to rely on fake lighting to try to make it look good.
Exactly.
And I love it. Just here in the city, it's hard to film outside because there's lawnmowers, there's people, there's kids
Yeah, there's so
barking.
much background noise over
Up
there.
north, it's no big deal. But here, it's a little stressful. It's very hard. You'll get like 40% or 60, 70% done of a video, then you hear a person dog barking, all of a sudden out of nowhere, or you didn't notice it, and then you notice it, and then when you're editing it, you're like, dang it, man. So
Your studio is local here.
local, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not too far from here, but yeah, it's a good time. It's it's just a place that, to be honest, like a lot of the owners, like we'll go there and just like hang out. Like you guys are hanging out here. Like that's what we do. Like we'll go sit there and like have a couple drinks. We'll go to Sam's Club, just put a ton of food in there.
Yeah.
Just snacks and
Just a man
combos and
cave
beers
to hang
and-
out, right? Yeah.
It's like a man cave.
Yeah.
We had this is pretty cool. We had Bud Fisher came to our studio. He does Catching Deers. They own like a clothing shop. And Bud Fisher is the brother of Mike Fisher, the hockey player.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He's local, right?
Yes, and
Married
he's-
to Carrie Underwood.
His sister-in-law's Carrie Underwood.
Could-
So
could
Bud's
she come on your
sister-in-law-
show?
No, I was like, dude, bring Carrie
Please,
if you're coming here.
yeah, sure.
So they came. They're from Canada. They're all Canadian, except for Carrie, but they're all Canadian. So when Bud came to the studio, him and his entourage, I'd say, we had a bear cook-off, chili cook-off. So we had bear chili. It was awesome. Like he plays a alter ego called Rut Daniels on YouTube. It's very popular, like millions of views. Like, so it's funny because he came to a buck dinner to speak in where was that at? Oxford area, whatever. There's like a Woodside. He spoke at that as the main guy that spoke as this Rut Daniels guy. But, anyway, so we told him, like, hey, if you're coming, let's pick you up and do, hunters and cars, driving with hunters and cars or something like that guy does the singing thing with Ed Sheeran and all those people. So we pick him up at Jamie's truck. We're driving around talking about it. And I post a video and it does okay. Like, I'm like, wow, it didn't do as good as I hoped. And then I start dawning on me because someone made a comment like, I can't believe that's Rut Daniels, and I thought, yeah, I better change the title of this video to Driving in Cars with Rut Daniels, right?
Right.
And then it went ballistic.
Went huge. Sure.
One change. That video went from like 800 views to like 30,000. I'm like, wow. Like, how stupid was I thinking here?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty cool, man. It was good to see people come in, and they're always amazed when they come into the studio because it's just so much outdoors in one area. And we collect classic bows, so we have this awesome arrangement of classic old bows, and everybody who hunts loves to look at them because they're just so cool. Like, they're like old and from like 82 to, or actually before that, from like the 50s, even 40s, probably a couple of them, the long bows. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's real cool.
I want to get that gal from Michigan Outdoors on the show here.
Oh, you should. Yeah, it's called Jenny and Jimmy.
Jenny Olsen.
Jenny Olsen, yeah.
Something.
Are we changing genres? What you want to do?
You guys you guys do sports, so you can really have an outdoor segment that's just outdoors.
Yes.
I can come in and help with that. That'll be my section.
That'd be cool.
We can do outdoor section, then I leave.
Right, exactly. You don't want to stay
Dave's
around
here
for 30
30
minutes?
No, it's still fun, but Dave's
Okay.
here for 30-minute segment. After that, you guys will move on to NFL.
Yeah. See? Now we're thinking.
You got to think outside the box here.
Yeah.
Like I like to say,
right.
outside the bun.
We're outside the bun. There you go. We're coming down to the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's go ahead and end this until next week. Till next week. Same time, same place. We're going to be back. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again, Dave, for being here.
Thank you.
See you guys next week.